To Vietnam with talks focusing on taking care of business.
At a meeting with business leaders, Biden told the CEOs that he wanted the U.S. and Vietnam to forge new partnerships. The deals announced include plans for a $1.6 billion Amcor technology factory in Vietnam and a $7.5 billion aircraft sale between Boeing and Vietnam Airlines. Later in the day, Biden sat down with Vietnam's president for a formal state luncheon. I'm Karen Chamas.
The European Union's Executive Commission cutting its economic growth forecast because it says high inflation is still discouraging consumers from spending money. The European Commission now expects economic growth of 0.8% this year for the 20 countries using the euro currency. News and analysis, townhall.com. The men's U.S. Open winner, and he's been there before, says that he has no plans to slow down.
Novak Djokovic has written another chapter into the tennis history books, becoming the first male player to win 24 Grand Slam singles titles, that equaling the all-time record held by the Australian Margaret Court. The 36-year-old Serb also became the Open's oldest male winner, that after a hard-fought 6-3, 7-6, 6-3 victory over the tenacious Daniil Medvedev. Djokovic started well, comfortably taking the first set, but then he found himself struggling physically in a brutal 1 hour and 44-minute second set in which he saved a set point before winning in a tiebreaker. That done, he closed out in straight sets, securing his fourth U.S. Open title. I'm Graham Agars.
About 146,000 U.S. auto workers set to go on strike this week if GM, Ford, and Stellantis fail to meet their demands for big pay hikes, the restoration of concessions made years ago. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tablet said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy rainy Monday. What's up?
See, that's what you should lead with. Not happy Monday, happy rainy day.
It's sprinkling when I came into work this morning.
Dude, it is nice. It's just nice out there.
Like the weather report for this week is like in book form.
Oh wow, it's like all gray. There's not that's just all gray on your weather forecast.
Oh yeah, and it's all book form. Like each day's a sentence, like it's poetic. It's like a whole.
This is that special time of year that meteorologists get to kind of flex their. That's right. Their lit degree.
They dust off their Hallmark card writing skills right? and add to the weather forecast. Each day this week, like today, 70% chance of it. You know what tomorrow's high is going to be? Almost as high as just slightly higher than our percentage of rain today.
Really?
Yes. Our high tomorrow is 78.
Oh my gosh.
Our percentage of rain today is 70%. How awesome is that?
That's a 30-degree difference in like 2 days.
I know. And it's going to be like all week. Like through Friday, I'm seeing rain chances. Every day but Thursday night for some reason.
It took us a minute to get there, but monsoonal moisture has finally arrived in southeastern New Mexico.
And it's bringing a turkey.
That's right.
But happy Monday.
Yes.
Oh, in lieu of the governor's
I'm packing heat.
governor's little Skeletor meme moment she did Friday, where she dropped that bomb and left the room.
Yeah,
I got gun raffle tickets for the American Legion. We got a Glock 43X 9mm and a Glock 42 380. We're going to be raffling. We're going to do it at the fair.
Nice.
You can get your tickets right now, but you know we don't have a concealed carry problem yet here in this county. But give us time.
I'm not going to say anything more than what a boneheaded move.
Wow. Well, you got pretty much every pundit in the country now saying, what is going on with that New Mexico governor? Is she crazy?
Every time New Mexico is in the national news, it's always like, what the heck's going on down there?
Yep.
What is happening with you people?
We are the official hold my beer state.
No. That's Florida, sir.
We're trying.
We're not there yet.
We're trying.
Florida's the hold my beer state. Mississippi's the well, I was gonna say drinking and driving state, but that's pretty much us. Mississippi's kind of the
We're the uninsured drinking and driving state. We got that much.
That's right.
You may just have the drinking and driving state, but we don't have insurance, and we drinking and driving. But
there was a series of TikToks like a couple of years ago. They're just called "Be a New Mexican," and it was like, had a few too many? Go ahead, hop behind the wheel.
Yeah,
be a New Mexican. It's just all this stuff that New Mexicans will just inevitably do.
There you go. Well, here you go. This is what you just inevitably do. We're seeing that now, so it's gonna be.
By the way, don't do that. I feel the need to specify.
Yeah, don't drink and drive.
Don't.
That's we file that under bad things to do in case you need
Ask my friend, Social Norman.
I do want to give a programming. We're going to try to play it later, but unfortunately, I have a guest during the time. But on our sister station, 990 AM KSVP, Gene Dow, this morning at 9:10 a.m., he's going to be talking with Representative Jim Townsend, the House Minority Leader, who also happens to represent the Artesia District there, where our other show happens to be broadcasting. But he's going to be joining Gene on the show to talk all about the governor's edict on Friday, public health order. That's what you want to call that. But
is that what we're going with? Health?
That's what she called it, public health order. I think that's the guy she
People need to stop eating their guns. There, I said it, okay? Controversial though it may be, people need to stop eating lead.
They're not healthy for you.
It's bad for you.
But so to talk about that, I'm going to try to maybe replay tomorrow sometime, but that's at 9:10 this morning. So tune in there if you'd like, because we can catch we'll have the folks from Roswell Seed on during that time. So.
Oh, also, quick announcement. The Southeastern New Mexico Ram Sale is going to be happening Saturday, October 10th, 1953 at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. I'm just reading this off of the back of this.
Oh, I was about to say 19. I was like...
one of our guests, Ted, we'll have to do this another time, brought in this Eastern New Mexico State Fair guide from 1953.
Yeah, be careful of that.
Oh yeah, no,
this is. I believe that is property of the Walker Aviation Museum.
Indeed.
That is not, just Wee Willie. But he brought in last week a fair book from 1953. That's pretty cool, and definitely worth flipping through. And as we get closer and closer to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, and I'm sure as we get closer, we'll be talking more and more folks from there. We'll have to bust out that, and maybe we can hit them. It's like, can I ask at this year's fair, are you going to have, and just thumb to a random page and see what's in there? I'll have to see if the giant pumpkins are in there.
Right?
See
how much more giant they are now than they were back then.
That's right. Well, they're way roided up now.
That's what I'm saying. A giant 53-pound pumpkin to Miss Ida May of...
And this year's got Bluetooth. So.
Yeah. Parking assist, the whole nine.
That's right. So, but let me give you the official rundown. We do have a full slate for you today. Matt Bristol with Bristol Law Office is going to join us. Actually, sitting right across from me right now, waiting to go on the radio. He pops in each month to give us sage legal advice. I know his area is more family law and stuff, but maybe we can talk a little bit about what the governor's doing here, and he can, because that's not really his expert at law area.
I got to say, it's a real lawyer move to just, the way he does. He comes in and he sits down wordlessly, doesn't say a word, just takes it all in first thing in the morning, the first thing when he comes in, and then he starts talking later. He's observing right now.
I think that they learn that in like lawyer school, like day one. It's like, just shut up and listen and let them hang themselves, and then you're done by the time there. That's usually how it works.
You could actually, you could put a lot of attorneys out of business if you would just shut your mouths, people. If you make a mistake,
pretty much.
Zip
exactly. You ever notice that, like in police interrogation videos, they just shut up and let the guy ramble? Half the time they'll just do it all on themselves, and the guy, all the interrogator or interviewer says is like, "So what happened that night?" And then just watch the show.
One of the most diabolical things my former boss used to do, he would ask a question, and then I would give my response, and he wouldn't say a thing. Mm-hmm. He would just stare at me. And because I'm in radio and I don't like silence, I will keep talking and eventually probably implicate myself in a murder somewhere.
That's exactly why they do it. Just to get you to be uncomfortable and keep going like, I'm done now. This is your turn.
Right.
Say something, okay.
Call, response. Call, response.
But yes, that is definitely a tactic to use. But Matt's going to join us here and, as always, give us sage legal advice. In the 8 o'clock hour, don't have a guest scheduled, so I'm going to replay an interview. We had the ladies from the Chaves County Joy Center join us last week just to give folks an overall picture of what the Joy Center offers for folks. And they got some upcoming events and things we talk about too, but mostly just an overall, hey, we got a lot of services that might be helpful to you. You should check us out. So
there you go.
That's what we did. So we'll play that interview for you here in 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, John Noble and his wife Crystal will join us with Roswell Seed, give us an update on what's going on planting season. And, now that we're... I can't say full into the fall because it was 100 just 2 days ago.
Yeah, no, we're not in full fall.
But, gear you up for...
Stores are starting to smell a lot more like cinnamon now.
Yeah.
I will say that. But
pumpkin spice is still making its way out there. So, green chili and pumpkin spice.
Have you ever had a pumpkin spice latte?
No, of course not.
Yeah, me neither. That's the thing is, maybe it's the best thing on the planet. I've never personally tried it.
Well, I like coffee.
I mean, I like pumpkin pie.
Yeah, I don't even like pumpkin pie, to be honest. I don't like coffee, so I don't drink coffee. I
didn't take that into consideration. Of course, the pumpkin spice latte doesn't taste like coffee.
Well, I'm sure half those coffees don't taste like coffee, but they got that hint of coffee in it that just ruins it for me.
Wow. You are a man who does not like what he does not like.
I'm a simple man.
I like that you stand by your guns.
Yeah, people are like, but here's the thing: when people give me a hard time about it, I point out the thing that they're equally vitriol on the other. I just have different ones.
Right. Everybody's got one.
My wife gives me a hard time about was putting a blueberry in my pancake over the weekend. I was like, I like blueberries, I just don't like them in pancakes. And she was
like, "That's a hot take right there."
And she's like, "Have you tried it?" I'm like, "Of course I've tried it. I've been on this earth 50 years. You think I've just stumbled upon blueberries in a pancake?"
Oh my God! Have you guys tried this? Infusion.
It is not. But she was, and then I was like, "Look, if I came here with a big pile of nuts and said, 'Come on, you haven't tried all these nuts,' she's gonna be like, 'No, I don't like nuts. I'm not going to eat.'" I'm like, ta-da.
And there it is.
But anyway, I just so people that give me that, I like what I like, and I'm vocal about what I like and what I don't like. I just And
hey, more power to you.
But I would argue I'm more adventurous of an eater than most people.
Yeah.
Like I will try things that most people will not try.
That's true.
I won't have them regularly, but if you give me some worm survivor television show looking event thing to try, I will try it. Because, in the spirit of, as long as I know it's not going to kill me.
In the spirit of morning radio, I will try it.
Yeah, I will do that to say I did it.
Sure.
Why do you think I like eating things like escargot and stuff like that?
I've never tried that. I've always wondered, but I never have.
To be honest, every time I've had it, it's got so much garlic and butter in it.
Well, that's basically
like chewy things with garlic and butter.
It's a vehicle to get garlic and butter in your mouth.
That's pretty much what it tastes like. Chewy stuff with garlic and butter. But unlike frog's legs, which actually taste like chicken.
Dude, no gaminess?
No, tastes like
because the one time I've had frog's legs, it was real gamey.
To be honest, well, they didn't know what they were
doing.
They
didn't do it right, yeah.
They must have picked the wrong pond to pull them bad boys out of. What's that bubbling on that pond?
Is that a wing?
These frogs taste a little gamey, but each frog's got 6 legs.
It's chicken of the bog. That's what they call them, chicken of the bog.
Man, these 6-legged frogs taste funny, but man, there's so much food. Oh, don't think. Did I get through? Yeah, it was Roswell Seed. I was like, did I get through the whole rundown?
We
or
did the
I
whole
get
thing.
sidetracked again. All right, it is 7:18. Let's get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll get a mix of sunshine and clouds today. We have a low-pressure system over the Texas Panhandle and a cold front dropping in from the Central Rockies. Could get some showers and thunderstorms, and our afternoon high about 90. Scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight with lows in the mid-60s, and then a lot cooler on Tuesday. Scattered showers around and our afternoon high in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. All right, get ready for some fun. I'm about to read the weather. Currently 78 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 43% with winds out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour. All right, get ready. 70% chance at showers and thunderstorms today. Partly cloudy, high of 90. So warm, but not like what we used to be warm. Winds out of the northeast. 10 to 15 today. New rainfall amounts, they do say less than a tenth of an inch, except for if a thunderstorm rolls through the area. Tonight, we're looking at a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy. Overnight low is 62 degrees. Northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're saying between a tenth and a quarter of an inch of rain possible tonight. For you Tuesday, tomorrow we're looking at 60% chance at showers and thunderstorms, and that's all day, before noon and then in the afternoon too. Cloudy with a high of only 74, not even like upper 70s, mid to lower 70s tomorrow, 74. Winds will be out of the northeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. A tenth and a quarter of an inch of rain tomorrow, what they're expecting, unless we get a thunderstorm, then a little bit more. 70% chance of rain for your Tuesday night, mainly before midnight, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 64 degrees. South winds at around 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, 50% chance of showers, partly cloudy and 81. Wednesday night, 50% chance of rain, partly cloudy, 62 for an overnight low. Thursday, a 20% chance at rain for the afternoon, mostly sunny and 86. No talk of rain Thursday night. Friday, a 20% chance of rain, partly cloudy and 86. 30% chance of rain Friday night. And then for the weekend, 30% chance of rain on Saturday with a high of 82. 20% on Sunday with a high of 86. So you can't complain about this week. I mean, rain chances and 70s and 80s for the week for the most part. So drink it in and enjoy it. So just be happy. I'm looking forward to it. I was like, this morning when it started sprinkling on my way in, I was like, oh, finally made it. I didn't think we'd ever see it again after 87 degree days in a row of 105 plus temperatures and all that. But I think we're finally through it. All right, it is 7:21. We're going to take a quick break with your Roswell Livestock Report and a couple ads to pay for breakfast and lunch. And then Matt Bristol will join us on the other side. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. They good September run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves and light yearlings and bred cows. We expect to sell 1,375 head, breaking down like this: 275 to 300 weighing cows and bulls, 225 pairs of bred cows, 850, 900 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 30 Holstein weigh cows off one dairy, 80 bred cows /Z Land and Cattle Company, Tatum, New Mexico. Reputation quality Angus cows bred to Keneally Angus bulls. These cows start calving in January for 90 days. Good flesh. 7 to 9 years old. 23 bred cows, Cross L / Capitan, New Mexico. Ex-quality black Angus cows, second trimester bred to Angus bulls. Cows 9 to 10 years old. 25 to 30 cow-calf pairs, mostly black white-face Angus and Brangus cross pairs with Angus calves 5 to 10 years old. 32 steer calves, Mr. Wayne Netherland at Artesia. Ex-quality black white-face Angus cross calves, shots at Brandon, 400, 500 pounds. 22 calves, Bryce Wagner, Monument, New Mexico. Ex-quality black white-face Angus cross calves, Vibra Shield 6, Covex and 8, 375, 500 pounds. 21 light yearlings, Mr. Jack Blanford, Deming, New Mexico. Ex-quality black Angus and Brangus crosses. Cattle weaned 60 days, 2 rounds of Bova Shield Gold 7-weight, 450, 650 pounds. 20 calves, Mr. George Jackson, Lordsburg, New Mexico. Quality black and black white face Angus cross calves, Bova Shield Gold 7-weight, 450, 600 pounds. 29 calves, J.M. Lutrix, Fabin, Texas. Excellent quality black and black white face Angus and Brangus cross calves, 375, 500 pounds. 26 calves, Woodrow Family Trust, Cliff, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Brangus cross calves, 400, 600 pounds. And 27 calves, Zachary and Stephanie Mobley, Carlsbad, New Mexico. Excellent quality black and black white face Charlotte crossbred calves, medium condition, 350, 500 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows 10:30 to 11. Be selling calves and yearlings around 12 o'clock noon. We expect to sell 1,375 head today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Did you get a lowball trade offer on your vehicle? Did you spend hours haggling over prices? Were you laughed at because of your credit? Of course not. You made the smart choice and went to Roswell Ford. At Roswell Ford, there's never been a better time to save thousands and get approved for the new car or quality pre-owned vehicle you've always wanted. Our lenders' approval requirements are more forgiving than ever. If you have a steady job and proof of residence, you could be approved in minutes. Even with bad credit or no credit, over mileage on your lease, or buried on your loan, Roswell Ford will take any trade, even if you owe $6,000, $8,000, even $10,000 more than your old car is worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. If you're looking for a new or quality pre-owned vehicle at or near your current monthly payment with little or no money down, visit Roswell Ford today for incredible savings. Roswell Ford, the home of Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell. Plus tax and tag, trade balance refinance to the new loan, subject to lender approval, offers not combined. Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
Most of the problems that people have with plants comes down to basic farm management. That means knowing what to plant and when to plant it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Planting at the wrong time usually leads to disappointment and heartache, sort of like your first love. But planting at the right moment puts Mother Nature on your side, and that makes growing things easier and a whole lot more fun. So before you plant anything, come to see us at Roswell Seed, or just give it a try and hope for the best. It gives me a chance to say, I told you so.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning to talk law, as he usually does, Matt Bristol with Bristol Law Office back with us. Morning, Matt.
Morning, Mike. How you doing?
Doing great. How's your weekend?
It was good. Good. Got some work done at the house, the office, went to the movie.
Nice. See anything exciting in the movie? I mean, what's out right now?
Well, we had to go see Big Fat Greek Wedding.
That's right. I saw that. That's out now. I think it's now the third.
Fourth Greek, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see that, but I figure it'll be out on demand here in a month or two, so I'll catch it then. But
well, it's a cute movie, yeah.
Good deal. Yeah. You like the first two? I'm guessing you probably like that one.
Yeah. Yes, in the same vein. It's very light. It's not very deep.
So the first one is
comedy.
The first one's the actual couple. The second one's their kids, right? They get married.
The parents got remarried.
The parents. Now, is it the kids in this one?
No. Okay. It's somebody in the village gets married.
Okay, because I'm like, they're running out of people to marry in that show, in that series. So I was just wondering.
Well, last week there was a radio announcer talking about the movie was going to come out on Friday.
Yeah.
And apparently the guy's never seen the movie because he totally mispronounced the last name of the family. Yeah.
He wasn't familiar with the jokes and everything.
Yeah, so. He did not speak Greek.
And Windex does not fix everything, just in case you pick up that nugget seeing the movies for the first time this weekend. So.
That's it. How was your weekend?
Good. Did some stuff and got to watch some football yesterday. But that was nice. First time to do that in a while, and my team won. So all's good in this world for this week anyway. So.
Well, I think I had my fill of blueberry pancakes at Scout Summer Camp. Talk about fake blueberries. Oh my gosh. Horrible pancakes.
Yeah. When your pancake has a purple hue, just because. Yeah, it should be like that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had enough of those.
For folks not familiar, Matt joins us each month to basically just talk sage legal advice. Generally, our conversations go towards the family, and a lot of it's preventative talk to hopefully avoid spending time with guys like Matt, trying to work it out later.
Yes.
But really, just, when it comes to for your home and for your business, when you're talking about trying to set up your business and how it should be set up, a guy like Matt could really help you, especially setting up the different types of a business, how you protect your assets in the business, how to do it the right way, and what to happen when you don't do it the right way, and what can happen there.
Yep.
And then also with family, on the family side too, just from wills to that, to just making sure you do things right in your family, so you're avoiding like family law type things down the road.
Well, that's just. Yeah, it's cheaper to stay out of trouble than to try to get out of trouble.
Yeah. But I don't it's not often I have a lawyer here in the room. And so, and I know this is, criminal law and constitutional law is not really your area of studying that you do, or, I'm sure you've covered it in law school, but that's not what you do on a day-to-day basis.
No.
Here. So, just your thoughts on, what the governor did on Friday with this public health order about for Bernalillo County and the 30-day basically gun ban that's going on.
Ban on concealed carry.
Yeah, concealed carry, open carry. Pretty much only people allowed to have them are cops and criminals, I guess.
Criminal. Well, that's it. They're called criminals for a reason. Hello, they're going to break the law. And so that 30-day ban is not going to affect those people at all.
Well, obviously, got some national attention here. Most people are screaming this is unconstitutional.
Well, it is,
But yeah, from your legal expertise, kind of, are they all spot on? Is this what it is, or is there some loopholes here that she's using to work around here?
Well, so all of our rights under the Constitution, none of them are absolute.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think about freedom of speech. Do we have freedom of speech? Yeah. Can you yell fire in a crowded theater? No.
Right.
So none of our freedoms are absolute. But we have a Second Amendment that says, we have the right to bear arms, and it's not about duck hunting. Our right to bear arms is against an oppressive government.
Look at some of the other Bill of Rights things right around it, and they all make sense. The one about quartering soldiers and all. No, they're all right there together.
Well, if you don't have the right to bear arms, then none of your other rights are going to last for very long.
Exactly, yeah.
But, a 30-day ban is still unconstitutional. We still have the right to bear arms. So does that mean she's going to wait till November and ban the voting? We're going to have a 30-day ban on voting? Yeah, I don't think so. You just don't get to do that kind of stuff.
Right.
So it's unconstitutional, and I don't see how it's going to be effective. I'm not sure how many of the people that were killed by law-abiding concealed carry people.
Well, and that's just it. I think even their side could tell you, yeah, we know this is not, but then what's the point of it other than to just either A, garner votes, or B,
I don't know.
Control.
She probably didn't even talk to the Attorney General about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have told her no.
You would think the person with the highest lawyer in the land in New Mexico would probably give her the advice that would be legally correct on that one.
Yeah. But all the people I know with concealed carry permits, it's for defense. It's not for offense.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that they're having up there. And so to ban defensive weapons is not going to cure people using firearms for offense. So I don't know what her problem is.
Yeah. It feels like a headline grabbing thing more than I'm trying to actually solve a problem type thing.
Well, can we ban like sales tax for a month or something like that, or would the governor get upset?
Yeah. Well, and this is me talking, not Matt, but this is the kind of things. I mean, you can ask Matt; he'll be happy to tell you. But this is the kind of things people need to pay attention to. This is the stuff. We talked about COVID 3 years ago and what we can do and what we can't do and what they're doing. And it's like, dude, can they do this? Or, in the terms of safety, and we're starting to see the fallout from a lot of this stuff. And to be honest, I look at this as like, this is kind of the result of COVID and what happened during COVID and what we did during COVID. And people are a little bold, and now they're like saying, you know what? I can do this, keep doing this kind of stuff. This is, this is the tyrannical type stuff that quite frankly is the big, when we talk about the United States and what we're about, say what you want about our government, but the one thing I can tell you it's here to fight is tyrannical type people and types of government. So I can tell you whatever she's doing right now goes way against what this country was founded on. So
it is. She is going against that. And, was COVID the beginning of the slippery slope? Well, with this 30-day ban starting to kind of look that way.
It does.
And where does that stop when you get to ban constitutional rights?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
in the name of public safety.
Oh, public
That's
safety.
That's the part that gets me, is they're using this as public safety.
That just like climate change, public safety.
Yeah, that's where they're going at it, is public safety. We know what's best for you. That's all I'm saying is pay attention and listen.
That's why we're going to take away your right to self-defense because it's public safety issue.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how that argument holds water.
Yeah, this is one of these lessons that you want to, if you want to protect the Constitution and the things that we got. This is the kind of stuff you need to pay attention to. This is the stuff.
Yeah, I'm too old to get in a fist fight with 3 20-year-olds, And if you're a 90-pound woman and you're attacked by a 250-pound man, then the firearm's the only thing that's going to make you equal.
Exactly. Yeah, and they don't like that.
So, the governor's, I think, overstepping in a number of ways.
Well,
jerseys.
We'll see the fallout here, but sit back and enjoy the show. I imagine this one could get ugly. We'll see what.
Well, see, that's the other thing is it's only for 30 days. How can anybody bring a lawsuit fast enough to challenge it?
Yeah.
So that's the other part of the game that's being played.
Well, this is why voters, you need to have a little bit long memory, because November is your time to change these things. That's what we have elections for. And this is
that. Yep, right.
And that is your one tool that no one can tell you different. Don't listen to these people that tell you, vote this way or vote that way. If you're voting this way and wasting your vote, I will never tell you that. I'm like, look, if you do your education, do your research, and you vote for the people that you truly believe that you think are the right people for the job, you're never wasting your vote. And I hate that idea, that party ideology of people saying, well, you can't vote for that guy because they have no chance of winning. I'm like, well, if you tell everybody that, of course they won't have a chance of winning. Mm-hmm. That's you dictating your thoughts onto other people, just like they're doing it to you. And you can't, that's what people need to remember, is it goes both ways. If you don't want people telling you how to do, you best shouldn't be doing it to other people either. And that's what we got to remember.
And we do have term limits. Just turn out on election day and vote.
Yep, absolutely. So just file the stuff in the things like, and then when you get into that area where your most powerful thing you can do as an American citizen is check the boxes for the people you want to run your country. So please pay attention to that here. Come next time you're in the ballot box.
So that's a constitutional right, and some people say it's an obligation to vote. So get out there and vote.
You're doing way more for your government and your country than you are by spewing your stupid thoughts on Facebook. That no one really wants to hear.
Yeah. Bless their little hearts. OMG.
Yes. So, but anyway, pay attention. Watch there's probably going to be a lot more to come on this one. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. So last time at the radio, I was asking questions.
Yes, you were talking to Sean. I think last month I was out of pocket, and you and Sean were talking. So.
Me and Sean were talking, and last time you enjoyed the kind of the Q&A kind of thing that we did. So I wrote down some more questions. Okay. So Mom passes away. Mom has a will. Mom names number 1 child out of 5 children as personal representative in the will.
Okay.
And number 1 child says, I'm personal representative. I'm in charge. I can do whatever I want.
But that happens a lot with brother, sister, sibling rivalry kind of thing going on.
Well, it happens a lot. But can he say that? Can he do what he wants?
No.
Correct.
Yeah.
What's the job of a personal representative? Do you know?
To do the best wishes of the person you're representing.
To follow the instructions of the will.
Yeah.
That's their job. Is
kind of like your lawyer. Your lawyer's supposed to represent you the best way possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the same thing with the representative here.
The personal representatives do what the will tells them to do. Or
kind of like your people in Congress. They're representative to what you want them to do. And like,
if only it worked that way. If only. I was just thinking about that the other day. You know, sometimes when you get a group of people together, there's not a common wisdom. It's just a common stupidity.
Right.
And Congress is a great example of that.
That's right.
Oh,
what's the joke about what's the opposite of progress? Congress.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Oh man, but yeah, there's some truth there. So anyway, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I had a situation. Mom, little old lady comes in. Mom, her brother passed away in Ohio.
Okay.
He named her as personal representative.
Okay.
But she's in Roswell, and her brother died in Ohio. But Mom has an adult son in Ohio, and so he says, "Hey, Mom, you know, I can take over as personal representative since I'm here. Make it easier. But first, the lawyer says, Mom, you have to make a will and make me your sole beneficiary so I can take over as personal representative." Now, does that make sense?
It does not to me.
Doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know why. I mean, it seems like someone's trying to take advantage of somebody here. But I mean,
Yep. That's what I thought.
I mean, the only way that would work is if you completely trust everybody, and that's
why. But what does naming son as sole beneficiary in her will have to do with her being personal representative of her brother's estate?
It feels like it almost feels like
it's cats and dogs.
It almost feels like the guy calling you up saying that you can help the Nigerian prince. I mean, it feels scammy like that.
Yeah, I thought it was a scam.
Yeah,
by the eldest son in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's weird. People do weird stuff, but I thought that was pretty crazy.
Was Mom with it, faculties-wise and everything? Or?
She was.
Okay.
And it wasn't making sense to her is why she came in to talk to me.
Yeah.
And I said, well, good for you. Keep your common sense.
Absolutely.
Keep your common sense.
You know, that's something, too. If anything ever feels fishy, don't sign it. You know, talk to an attorney. Get some, you know, anytime you're signing your way to something that is a big deal, it's never a bad idea to have a second pair of eyes or someone that knows more about the subject than you take a look at what you're going on there. That's just sage life advice.
Yeah. So let's see. So Mom passes away. She's got 5 kids. House goes to 5 kids. Number 1 son says to number 2 son, "Oh my God, Mike, our sister's about to do something really stupid, and we're all going to lose our inheritance if she does it. Why don't you give me your 1/5 of the house, and that way I can protect it for you?" Does that make sense?
No, that sounds shady.
That's what I thought. I have no idea how that number 1 son came up with that convoluted story, but number 2 son bought it.
Yeah,
he believed it.
Well, the only place people would buy that is in a scenario like that where you're family members and you're just all right. Because I can't imagine anyone would sign that over unless there's someone like your brother or father or sister or something like that.
But if we think about it, what could sister do to make somebody else lose their inheritance?
I don't know.
I have no idea. That's like saying if my neighbor is in a car wreck, I'm going to lose my house.
The only way I could see it is somehow she gets power of attorney and just sells it all out from under him and takes the money and runs. But that would be a lot of steps to do that.
Yeah. So people come up with these weird scenarios.
Yeah.
But that number 2 son believed that whole story.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But see why I can see that, because I could totally see them 20 years earlier saying, well, if you eat 37 pieces of gum, it'll make you grow an inch. And the other one's going, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? That's what that
Maybe
sounds.
Yeah. Stick your finger in this light switch.
Right. Make your hair stand up real cool.
That's probably what it was. Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. The sibling rivalry thing. It's like,
hold the football so you can kick it.
Yeah, exactly. The Lucy Charlie Brown scenario.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what that sounds like to me. But so if you have a sibling that says that to you, maybe say, what?
Yeah, don't leave your common sense at home.
Yes.
So I had 5 brothers and sisters come in to see me, adults.
Okay.
And it was one of those situations where, mom and dad had passed and the eldest was in charge, was personal representative and says, I'm in charge, I can do whatever I want, kind of situation. And lied to his siblings and gave away the family, 40 acres to some niece or something. And so I'm listening and go, okay. Oh, yeah, no, he's not allowed to just do whatever he wants. He has to do either what the will tells him to do or what the law tells him to do. And so they wanted to sue him, the brother, for being this bad personal representative and breaching his duty. And okay. So I'm right making notes. I said, so when did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they go, 1989.
You've been holding on to this one for a while, haven't you?
Like, excuse me? How come you didn't sue him in 1989?
Yeah.
Well, because he lied to us. He didn't ask anybody at the time.
Right.
How come you didn't sue him in 1990, 1991? There's a statute of limitations on
Right. This is 30 years ago, man.
Yeah. They were still mad.
They steal your bubble gum and your baseball card, too?
and they didn't believe me when I told them about a statute of limitations.
Yeah, there is on certain, certain ones like murder there isn't, but things like this there is.
Yeah, well, we want to sue him. Well, good luck with that.
Right.
You should have done that 30 years ago. Gee.
I still want my red Play-Doh back too.
Okay.
All right.
Another question.
All right.
Your wife, Kim, does she need your permission to make a will?
No. I don't think any one person needs a permission to. Now, because
your husband and wife.
Yeah, but if she wanted it, I would say no. I mean, because if you put like your personal medical things in there or something, I would say, yeah, why couldn't you? I think any one person can make a will. Now, what you cover in it
Correct.
is of material, but as far as if you're an individual and a human being and you have a right to make a will, and it's just what do you put in the will?
Yeah. Correct. You are correct. You can make a will without your spouse's permission. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? You're a human being. You're a grown adult.
Yeah.
Would Kim need your permission to give someone else her power of attorney?
Just regular power of attorney for finances, everything, or a medical, or
any kind.
I would say no.
Correct again.
Because what if you're incapacitated, and now if they're not, I would think one would communicate in a good family. But I'm thinking from a legal standpoint, probably not. So
you're correct.
Yeah.
Adult is going to do adult things. They don't have to ask their spouse's permission for that kind of stuff. Now, if there's community real estate, that cannot be conveyed unless both spouses convey it.
Right.
So
could the power of attorney basically just from, say there was a dispute in some of these things, be the voice for that person? If there was a dispute, say with the spouse, you know what I mean? Over said property or something like that?
There may be, say...
Assuming the spouse is incapacitated
We'll
somewhere.
say there's a second marriage, and it's not going well, and so wife gives power of attorney to one of her children, adult children from prior marriage. So I've seen that before.
Okay.
And in something like that, if wife finally decides to leave, then she lets her daughter with the power of attorney talk to the second husband about splitting the sheets.
Mm.
So I've seen that before, yeah. But as long as you're an adult, even though you're married, you can make your own will without your spouse's permission, do a power of attorney without your spouse's permission.
Okay. Of course, if you make good decisions when you're picking these people from beginning with, you have a lot less of these headaches. But just sage advice there too. When you're picking your spouses and things, do your homework first before you pick a good one.
Well, yes, hopefully we do. Some don't. But then people change over time.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what I've seen is that if somebody's got bad habits, they don't get better with age. They just get more exaggerated with age a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And so, whereas it was something you might be able to live with at the beginning because it was small, it just progressively gets worse.
Yeah, that's why you pick people where you match. Like if you're bad at this thing, maybe your spouse is good at the other thing, but maybe they're good at something or maybe you're good at something that they're bad at, and that's how marriage works. But you figure that out as you go.
well, hopefully, you work off each other's
your
strengths.
flaws are covered by your spouse and vice versa. You know, that's the way you work on it. So.
Yeah, in a good marriage, I think that's right.
Yeah,
everybody compliments each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but sometimes it takes 20, 30 years of marriage to figure that one out.
Or not.
Yeah, or not. Exactly. Good deal. Do we have another one? Another question here?
Does New Mexico recognize common law marriage?
We talked about this one before.
Yes, we have.
And I think the answer is yes.
No.
Okay.
Well,
then I'm wrong. I had a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. So common law is short for English common law.
Okay.
And actually, that's pretty darn common in the UK. That people actually don't get married. They just live together in a common law marriage situation until, poof, their common law marriage occurs.
Sure.
I don't know what the circumstances are in England for that. But because so many wars were religious wars, the very few people there go to church anymore except for maybe a wedding or a funeral.
Makes sense.
So because New Mexico's Spanish law custom, then we don't have, quote, common law marriage.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense. Interesting. So if instead of the conquistadors coming through, if it was the English settlers, we probably wouldn't. Probably haven't.
Yeah.
But they came from the south to here, so.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. The Spanish conquistadors actually had been to the Mississippi River before the English landed on Plymouth Rock.
Oh, yeah. Why do you think some of the oldest churches in the country in Santa Fe?
There you go.
How did that happen?
Yeah. Well, it's the oldest capital in the country. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. It's because they came up through Mexico while Columbus and everything was back still in Europe. Doing his thing. Looking for a boat or something. I don't
know. Let's see. Okay, Mike gets a phone call. Mike's adult child has just been taken to the ER. There's been a car wreck. And so Mike drives to the ER and says, "Oh, my God, where's my kid? How's he doing?" And what's the ER going to tell you?
Generally, they're going to want proof or, they just don't tell you anything until they confirm who you are.
Well, with HIPAA, they're going to say, "Oh, gee, do you have a medical power of attorney for your adult child?"
Okay.
And when you say, "No, I don't," they're going to say, "Well, we can't talk to you." So there your kid is, ladies and gentlemen, in the ER, and the hospital ain't going to talk to you because of the HIPAA laws.
But they will talk to your kid's spouse.
If your adult child was married, they'll talk to the spouse. Yeah. So if you have an adult child who's single, ladies and gentlemen, let's get some medical POAs out there.
Although, I don't know, because I have a little bit of a personal, like when my wife went through what she went through a little over a year ago with her head stuff, and we were dealing with that kind of stuff. I will say this now. Granted, my wife's parents beat me to El Paso because they had left earlier, and so they talked to them. I don't know what they were legally allowed to do or didn't, but we didn't have any of those issues, and I think it mainly because I was nearby and But if it was a contentious family, I'm sure they probably would have had to do some of that. But and I imagine hospitals, depending on how much they deal with you, probably like if you just come in out of the blue. They're not going to, but if you establish a relationship and stuff, they're probably going to be a little bit more receptive to talk.
If your adult child in the ER is lucid and awake, they can always say, "Oh, let me give you my permission to let Dad in."
Yeah.
So they can always do that.
And that's true too. Because my wife, though, was on medication, was actually talking and speaking. Of course, she was on some pretty good meds at the time, but she was.
Well, one time I had my wife taken to the ER and beat the ambulance there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going in the ambulance entry with her. And some hospital employee says, "Do you have her power of attorney?" And instead of punching the nurse, I said, "Well, she's not competent to make her own decisions." They left me alone. That's all I needed to hear.
Well, as soon as you said that, probably, this guy's a lawyer. Never mind.
Well, she wasn't. But if she's not, someone needs to.
Sure.
So that's how I got in.
Sure. It's like, no, I just hang out at hospitals and chase these things around and see if I can get involved.
Yeah, really. What's up with that?
That's what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
But yeah, good tip. So if you're, especially maybe if your adult child is in a scenario where they live alone or something like that, and they don't have that person, maybe you should have that available to them. At least until they're married and got someone that can do it for them. If you know what I mean. So it's a good idea.
And remember, that kicks in as soon as they turn 18.
Gotcha. So, and we all know 19-year-olds are just like 18-year-olds, but they've been on the planet a year longer. They're just as immature.
That's right. They are.
So, act accordingly. Good deal. We got a couple minutes left. Do we have more of those, or we want to move into our other stuff here?
Well, we'll do one more real quick.
Okay.
So we talked about, mom's passed away, and she left a will that leaves the house to the 5 kids. Do the kids need to do a probate since they have a will that leaves them the house?
I would think no, but this one I'm a little, because to me there seems like a lot of loose strings here. Like how do they, like if the kids get the house, but how much of the house do they get? You get an equal percentage? How does that work?
Equal shares, yeah.
Okay.
So the question is yes and no. So the will gives the house to the kids, and the law says the estate passes at the moment of death.
Okay.
Okay, that's boom. As soon as mom dies, poof, the kids are the
house
become
is
the owners.
theirs.
Right. Except, so for that reason, technically, you don't need a probate. However, the transfer has not been perfected because there's no paper trail.
Okay.
If they try to sell the house, the title company is going to say, "Where's the paper trail?" You don't actually have a piece of paper to the house.
No deed.
There's no deed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now the kids have to go to probate court, probate the will, be appointed to be authorized to sign the deed over.
Okay.
So it's kind of a yes, both ways kind of question. It's a little tricky, but it's interesting.
Does that change if the house is paid for or not? Like technically, if there's still a note on it, does that change any of that or anything? Okay.
Nope.
I was just curious, because technically at that point, then the deed's at the bank. whoever flitted the loan on that home.
Well, if it's a mortgage, then the home buyer got the deed when they bought the house because they had to have the house to give back as collateral.
Sure.
So they already have the deed.
Gotcha. Okay.
But that's,
just wondering.
That's a very common question, Mike. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely. But again, this is the kind of stuff. Here's if you're, as we grow up and as we move on into our phases in life, this is where we say maybe it's an idea to talk to someone like Matt. Sit down. If you're a young couple starting out, you need to sit down with a guy like Matt and say, hey, will planning, just the younger you do this stuff, the better you're setting the table for success down the road.
Oh, yeah. Because most people, the realtor talk them into buying too much house, and so you want to avoid that.
Yeah, have these conversations and talk and get that figured out. And trust me, you'll find that because that's really when you talk about marriage and success in marriage, it's communication and when we talk all about. But a lot of times, if you don't see eye to eye on things like finances or who's controlling what, that's the stuff that causes the problems. And some of it can be easily fixed with a conversation with Matt or a guy like Matt.
Absolutely. Come in and talk to us early and often.
Absolutely. You can go to BristolLawOffice.com.
.net.
.net. I keep forgetting it's changed to
That's
.net. There you can go and schedule an appointment, learn all about the different types of law and everything that Matt's office does.
Absolutely. Call us at 625-5284.
Yeah.
Or BristolLawOffice.net, either one.
Absolutely. And get have a guy like this in your corner because, if you don't, and when things get squirrely, then you might be unprepared, and that you don't want.
So we have time for a fiction and fact?
Yes, let's do a fiction or fact.
Oh, because we don't have a next guest. We can do a recording.
Yes.
Okay. So, speaking of Greek, so if somebody is apolitical, that means they're not political.
Right.
Or if a disease is asymptomatic, it means there's no symptoms. So the prefix a means not.
Gotcha.
In Greek. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
So the gospel according to John begins, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God and was with God.
Okay. And
John was written in Greek, and so the Greek word that translates into words is logos.
Okay.
Logos. So in Greek, it's in the beginning was the logos.
Okay.
Well, the ancient Greek word for horse was alogos.
Alogos.
Well, that didn't make sense. Why is a horse called a not word?
Yeah.
So that makes absolutely no sense, right?
It does seem a little, doesn't follow the rules there.
Right. But to the Greeks, animals are like, they're animals, okay? They don't have the ability to reason, and that's why the horse was called a logos.
Okay.
It didn't have the ability to think like a person. Didn't have the ability to reason like a person.
Okay.
It was unreasoning. And so now, if you go back to John, in the beginning was the ability to reason. And the ability to reason was God. It was with God. So that makes that a whole lot more interesting.
It does.
And if God created us, man, in his own image, perhaps that image was the ability to reason.
That's the difference.
Interesting stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have to reason on that for a bit.
Absolutely.
BristolLawOffice.net. Give the phone number out one more time.
625-5284. Thank you for having me, Mike. I enjoyed it.
As always, appreciate it. We'll see you next time here. And thank you very much for the fun and information, as always.
Thank you.
All right. It is closing in on 8 o'clock. Man, it's already 8 o'clock. This morning seems to be zipping by already. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but zipping by already. Town Hall News is coming up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. And so it begins, remembering the lost of 9/11. A lonely bell tolls at Ground Zero in New York on this 22nd anniversary of the terror attacks that killed 3,000-plus Americans as Islamic fanatics launched strikes on the World Trade Center, as well as the Pentagon near Washington and in a remote field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. One eyewitness on that fateful day, Captain Matt Bruce, back then a New York City firefighter. He recalls getting the assignment to swing into action.
We all headed for the Manhattan Tunnel, which is where we were told to stage. When I saw the tower burning all the way down to BQE, I actually saw the second plane come in between the towers, the buildings coming up the river, and I saw the plane scoot in there, and then I saw the explosion, the second plane blowing up, and I hit my radio for some reason. I said, we're at war.
Matt Bruce, these days, a Salem-Tampa radio talk show host, but he will be honored this week for his service as a first responder at the World Trade Center. It was 22 years ago today. President Biden says he has no interest in containing communist China. The just-concluded G20 summit in India, Mr. Biden said, quote, "We're not looking to hurt China. Sincerely, we're all better off if China does well."
Having India cooperate much more with the United States, be closer with the United States, Vietnam being closer with the United States, it's not about containing China. It's about having a stable base in the Indo-Pacific.
Close to 2,500 and counting. That is the death toll from the devastating earthquake that struck Morocco on Friday night. Thousands have been left homeless. On Wall Street this morning, the Dow is up 75 points, the Nasdaq ahead 77. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
A British Parliament researcher arrested for allegedly spying for China is declaring himself completely innocent.
The parliamentary researcher, who's not being named by the BBC, worked closely with MPs who were critical of Beijing. In a statement issued via his lawyer, he maintained that he'd spent his career trying to educate others about the challenge and threats presented by the Chinese Communist Party. Downing Street has so far refused to comment. A number of Conservative MPs have been critical of the government's engagement with China, but Rishi Sunak has said he'd rather be in the room with Chinese ministers in order to raise concerns.
The BBC's Ian Watson. Russia and North Korea confirmed that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will visit Russia, where he is expected to hold a highly anticipated meeting with President Vladimir Putin. It has sparked Western concerns of a potential arms deal for Moscow's war in Ukraine. The visit expected, according to the Kremlin, in the coming days. Townhall.com. Tragedy at a high school football game in the Midwest.
A Kansas team paying tribute to their longtime photographer following her death after an accidental hit on the sidelines. Linda Gregory died Friday after being on life support for several days. That after two players inadvertently ran into her in a game on September 4th during a contest at Wichita Northwest High School. She fell and hit her head. Gregory and her husband Mel had been taking pictures of the school's sporting events since 2014. Jason Walker reporting.
Thought to still be in Pennsylvania, escaped murderer Daniello Cavalcante remains on the run. He broke out of a southeastern Pennsylvania prison a week and a half ago. Since then, police say he stole at least one vehicle and has changed his appearance. There have been spottings, but no apprehension yet. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
When you hit the button and it don't come on, hit it again. Good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2, the deuce of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
Mondays, am I right?
Yeah, Victory Monday. Cowboys fans should be happy. 40-0 smacking of the Giants on Monday or Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, but it's the Giants. I mean,
well, here's what made me laugh, and Cowboys fans celebrate, because I've been hearing it too, and it's made me scratch my head. there's been a lot of people that are saying, don't sleep on the Giants this year. They're going to be good. This Daniel Jones is pretty good.
Right.
I don't know what they've been watching, but I saw last night's game and...
Stink City?
Them Giants stink. They stink.
I know a lot of people were real excited yesterday for the official first Sunday of the season. All right, cool. I just want to make sure. Yeah, we beat the Bears yesterday.
The Packers Bears.
Yeah, 38-20.
Bears fans were thinking this is now that Aaron Rodgers is out of the division, maybe it's our chance to shine.
See what happens with them boys.
What's his name? Jordan Love or whatever his name is, the new Packers QB. He's like, I'm not quite ready to let y'all take over yet.
Suck it, Bears fans.
So.
Sorry, Nate. Let's see. I'm curious though. Jets
play tonight.
Oh, they played. Yep. Bills. Yep. All right. What do you got, Aaron? What do you got, Rodgers? You turncoat.
He's my starting QB.
You dirty so-and-so.
You know what? Here's the thing, and I was having this conversation actually with Kim just yesterday about this. Because Aaron Rodgers was on this Hard Knocks with the Jets, people got to see him without the filter of what everyone else is saying.
Right.
And I think a lot of people are kind of like, maybe we were wrong about Aaron Rodgers. And you know what? I think because, to be honest, he's pretty solid dude in that show. He's just nice to everybody. He goes above and beyond to everybody.
Right. I'm sure he's a nice great dude, but he can go ahead discount double check himself, as far as I'm concerned, because he LeBron and Clevelanded me.
Yeah.
Basically. I'm gonna take my talents and I'm gonna go to Miami. But he basically like turncoated. So I
in all fairness, I don't know if Green Bay wanted him around anymore.
Yeah, he was getting a little stale.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I think it was a fresh start thing, and I believe Aaron got a bad rap with the whole vaccine thing. That's a man stick to his guns, and ultimately got proved to be right after all was said and done. And I think people need to go on the apology tour to that guy because, he was supporting Djokovic, who won in tennis this weekend, and he's another major anti-vaxxer. Matter of fact, he got banned from all kinds of tennis opens because, he's an Australian that refuses to get the vaccine. So Australia's like, well, you can't come here if you don't have a vaccine, and so which is completely ridiculous. But this is the world we live in now.
Sure.
So. I know you don't like Aaron because you were a fan and then you feel scorned, and I get that. But
he got way too wrapped up in his celebrity status and leaned way too much. You said it yourself with Hard Knocks thing with I think he was dating Shailene Woodley for a real long time.
He's got weird choices and he does weird things, but he can. He's a millionaire. Sure. He's earned everything he can. I just feel like he
took his eye off the ball.
And if he wants to sit in a cave and take ayahuasca, God bless him. That's his life. I don't care. As long as he does his job on the football field and does, I mean, that's the way I see it. It's like your life, live it how you want. But when you come back, you come, and that's exactly what the guy just seems like a model football player. A lot of real nice guy. He's just talking with people, going out of his way to be nice, and it was just like, that guy's the nicest guy on the planet. Why would you have a bad thing to say just because he's a little weird? I mean, he's weird in his choices, but at the end of the day, he's a nice human being.
Sure. Who would have thought the tables would have been this sided on a pro versus con Aaron Rodgers debate?
I know. After watching, I'm like, this guy, sure, he's weird, but you know what? It's okay to be weird.
That's what he wanted from the show, is he wanted you to take away from
I think he wanted it because he feels, and rightly so, that he was treated unfairly by the media and everything. Sure. He got a reputation as being a crazy dude because of all the stuff that was going on, because he did a couple crazy things. I'm not going to say that. He's a millionaire athlete. They're going to do weird stuff. That's what they do.
And it's just what they do.
Joe Namath was sitting there on pantyhose on an ad, but no one's talking about how he's beloved. I mean, that's what they do. They do things. And this is the 2023 version of Joe Namath. It just is what it is.
I don't care about the game right now. I want to kiss you on the mouth.
I mean, it's just...
In a fur coat, no less. That was a great Joe Namath clip. Yeah, and I'm sure he's fine. I'll be watching tonight because I'm curious to see how he does. So I'll tune in.
Oh, I need him to do well.
What happens?
I got to win my fantasy league.
I mean, in fairness,
to do that.
They are playing the Bills, so
Bills are good.
Meh.
don't watch a lot of football.
I don't watch a lot of football.
Bills are Super Bowl contenders.
Sure. Everybody is. Any given Sunday, my friend.
No, but they're real ones, not like the Cowboys pretend they do every year.
There it is. I said it.
They're real ones. Like they're real contenders.
That's great. That is great.
Oh, man. But anyway, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. I'm looking and I'm liking.
And I'm liking.
Mm-hmm. Then later on, we're going to play an interview we had last week with the ladies from the Chaves County Joy Center. They came in and just gave us kind of an overall of what they do and talk a little bit about some of the things they've got coming up. So we'll play that for you here in just a few. Mm-hmm. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety. Try to work in that Cowboys report. Should be all happy and smiles because they won last night. So, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show.
An interesting incident yesterday at a Stripes.
Yeah.
Name dropper. I literally had just stopped to get some water. Mm-hmm. We were on our way to the store to get some groceries and stuff. Mm-hmm. Me and the kids. And a lady approached me and said, "Excuse me, sir, can you help me out?" She goes on to tell me, she's like, "Can you put my spare on my car?" She's like, "I hit a curb," and she showed me there's a hole in the side of her tire. So I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." Not knowing that she asked like the least mechanically inclined human being on the planet to help her out. So I'm over there. I'm kind of taking things off, and I'm just kind of chit chatting with her and stuff. And she was telling me she's on her way to church. And I asked her what church she goes to. She said Victory Outreach. I said, "Oh, great! We have the pastors on our morning show, and only when it happens organically do I ever bring it up." She's like, "I was like, I'm on mornings with Mike Winters." She goes, "Oh, I was just listening to you the other day." And then every time she's, "Oh, I got a radio guy over here helping me." Here's the problem.
Yeah,
I get through the whole process, and while I'm doing this, one guy comes up and he's like, I think he literally just wanted to talk about his tools because he's like, "I got an impact wrench. I got this jack." But at this point I was just kind of trying to get the donut onto the axle.
Right.
And I finally get it on. This whole time I'm putting this on this donut on, never once did I notice that it was also flat.
Oh, the donut was flat.
The donut was also flat. Not until I got it off the jack pulled, did somebody come up and say, "That tire, that's flat." So it is. I was hot, I was tired, my kids were fussy, and I had like 1,000 things to do. At this point, that's when I tapped out. So I was trying to do a good deed, but I unfortunately was like, my kid, I have to go.
Yeah.
But by that point, I think grandkids had showed up. There was another guy there with the truck with all the kinds of tools. So I left her in good hands.
Right.
I really hope that everything worked out and that she got where she needed to go. But yeah, shout out to, I didn't get her name either. I was just kind of trying to get things done. But yeah, shout out to that young lady who happens to say that she was also listening.
Hopefully she made it to the event on Sunday there. She was probably going to was it yesterday?
Yeah.
She's probably going to their oldies event there.
She was telling me all about it. She's like, "We got a pastor in from Texas, and he's a rapper and a singer."
I hope she made it.
Yeah.
Good. I hope you made it. So, and I hope they took care of it.
There was a funny moment where, I'm assuming the grandkids, we asked them to kind of take the tire and roll it around to the trunk to put it in there. Nobody wanted to touch it because they didn't want to get dirty. These two kids were in spotless, like one kid had a white t-shirt on, khaki. Yeah, I call them church clothes, but no kid wants to mess up their kicks.
Oh, I get you.
So, but yeah, it was an interesting incident.
The tire's bad anyway. Just leave it there.
Yeah.
Well, good.
But
awesome.
I hope everybody got where they needed to be.
Good karma.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
It is. Oh, it's 8:16. Probably should get the weather going.
Yep.
This is more good news too. I love it. I love seeing things like 70% chances of stuff. Makes me good. Makes me happy inside.
Breathe it in.
So here's your weather. Enjoy.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll get a mix of sunshine and clouds today. We have a low-pressure system over the Texas Panhandle and a cold front dropping in from the Central Rockies. Could get some showers and thunderstorms, and our afternoon high about 90. Scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight with lows in the mid-60s, and then a lot cooler on Tuesday. Scattered showers around, and our afternoon high in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. And currently, let me scroll up here, 70 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 68%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 8 miles per hour. As I mentioned, I've got books written here for the weather. Today, we are looking at a 70% chance for showers and thunderstorms. They're talking best chances after 4 today. Partly cloudy, highs near 90. And that's our warmest day of the week, folks, today, 90. Winds will be out of the northeast, 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're saying less than a tenth of an inch expected unless we get a thunderstorm through the area. Tonight, our chance of rain bumps up to 70%. They say mainly before 10 p.m., mostly cloudy, overnight low of 62. Northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Again, less than a tenth of an inch tonight, except if we get a thunderstorm through the area. For you Tuesday, we are looking at a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, and it's pretty much all day from the morning to the afternoon. Looks like cloudy, highs of 74 tomorrow. Yeah, I said it's 74. Tomorrow's our high. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. They're saying expecting anywhere from a tenth to a quarter inch of rain for tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 64 degrees. Winds out of the south, 10 miles per hour. 50% chance of rain for your Wednesday, mostly cloudy and 81. South winds at around 10 miles per hour. 50% chance of rain Wednesday night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 62. Thursday, 20% chance of showers, mostly sunny and 86. 20% chance of rain Thursday night as well. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 63. Friday, 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly cloudy and 86 for a high. 30% for Friday night with an overnight low of 63. 30% chance of rain on Saturday, partly cloudy and 82. 20% chance of rain on Sunday with a high of 86. So we made it. The official rain chance zone and cooler temps. Hopefully we'll get some moisture and all of the stuff we want. All right, it is 19 minutes after 8. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with the ladies from the Joy Center. That's up next. Don't go away.
Did you get a lowball trade offer on your vehicle? Did you spend hours haggling over prices? Were you laughed at because of your credit? Of course not. You made the smart choice and went to Roswell Ford. At Roswell Ford, there's never been a better time to save thousands and get approved for the new car or quality pre-owned vehicle you've always wanted. Our lenders' approval requirements are more forgiving than ever. If you have a steady job and proof of residence, you could be approved in minutes. Even with bad credit or no credit, over mileage on your lease, or buried on your loan, Roswell Ford will take any trade, even if you owe $6, $8, even $10,000 more than your old car is worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. If you're looking for a new or quality pre-owned vehicle at or near your current monthly payment with little or no money down, visit Roswell Ford today for incredible savings. Roswell Ford, the home of Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell. Plus tax and tag, trade balance refinance to the new loan, subject to lender approval, offers not combined.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
The Rehabilitation Center at Artesia General Hospital offers a variety of services led by experienced licensed therapists, including physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. Their multidisciplinary team provides a complete evaluation with the full support of your primary care provider to develop a custom plan to support your personal goals and recovery needs. These treatment plans help manage symptoms, educate patients and their families, and ultimately get back to the activities that bring you joy. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/rehab.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and surrounding areas. Roswell Tire and Appliance has what you're looking for with a great selection of refrigerators, freezers, washers and dryers, and ranges, and they can prepare your appliance as well with many models in stock and on sale. You can own it today. RTA services after the sale with repair, warranty, and delivery to Roswell and surrounding areas. Save big on a selection of scratch and dent appliances too, plus a great selection of tires and a team of people to help you when you need it most. Roswell Tire and Appliance, 101 South Main in downtown Roswell.
Most of the problems that people have with plants comes down to basic farm management. That means knowing what to plant and when to plant it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Planting at the wrong time usually leads to disappointment and heartache, sort of like your first love. But planting at the right moment puts Mother Nature on your side, and that makes growing things easier and a whole lot more fun. So before you plant anything, come to see us at Roswell Seed, or just give it a try and hope for the best. It gives me a chance to say, I told you so.
Hey, Freddie Sosa here, Richland Chevy. And Scott with the Dodge Boy. For 5 days only, the Richland Chevy lot on West 2nd will be loaded down with cars, trucks, and SUVs from both dealerships. So who's it going to be? Ram, Silverado, Chrysler, Buick. You decide. Plus, low interest rates and rebates on select vehicles. Remember, Chevy versus Dodge, September 7th through the 12th at Richland Chevy on West 2nd. We're going to smoke the Dodge Boys.
You Chevy cats don't stand a chance.
Meow.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chavez County Joy Center. Let's see if I do all right here. Let's see. We got Iva Amaro. Did I nail it? Madi Hernandez. I knew it was my A's are bad. And Monica Duran as well. Good morning, ladies. How are y'all doing today?
Good morning.
I think before we kind of get too deep down the rabbit hole here, give for folks that may not be familiar, they may have heard of the Joy Center. They may have heard talk about, oh, there's a dance at the Joy Center, or there's something at the Joy Center. But they're like, what's the Joy Center? I can gather from the name that it's a place where people do fun things. But let's break that down a little bit for people and give a little bit more background on what the Joy Center is and why it's here.
Okay. So Chavez County Joy Centers, there are senior centers throughout Chavez County.
Mm-hmm.
We have our largest facility in Roswell. We have one in Midway, one in Hagerman,
mm-hmm.
and then the one in Lake Arthur.
But with the one in Roswell, because of what we do, people just think of that as the Joy Center and go there. But in reality, like you said, there's multiple ones throughout Chavez County. But
correct.
We do have a kind of a main one that kind of a lot of events, just because most of the population in Chavez County happen to be closer to that one.
Right. And include it. Not only is it the largest, but it also has the most services.
Sure,
provided.
most amenities for folks to do stuff with.
Yes.
Too. So, but yeah, it's really for seniors. But that being said, there's so many events and things that aren't just senior related that happen, and because you utilize it in other organizations and stuff. You open your home to other people and things too. So yes, it's built for the seniors and that, but it kind of helps all of the community in some way, shape, or form, or different way.
So we do try to do that, and how we go about it. And you usually see us more. We're probably more popularly known for our home delivered meals.
Yes, that's something that a lot of people know your services for.
And then we do a congregate meal. Each of our sites provide both of those services. And
okay.
A congregate meal is the meal that the seniors have at the senior center.
Okay.
And then all four centers also provide transportation.
Okay.
The Roswell site provides transportation daily, whether it's to the senior center, to run errands like grocery shopping,
sure.
doctor's appointments, pharmacy pickups, pretty much anything that a senior needs, sure. We're willing to provide the service.
They can't drive on their own or family members aren't available to take them on their errands, so they can be independent and say, no, I can catch the Joy Center van to go to the grocery store or go to pick up my medicine or whatever that needs to do, which for a lot of seniors, that's a huge, when you get to that point where you can't drive anymore. And that's a tough point in people's lives when you're told that, because that's in America, car is freedom. That's what that means. And when you're told that your health is not allowing you to do that anymore, that's when you start dealing with senior mental issues and, the depression and some of those things. So things like this really help navigate that and hopefully mitigate some of those issues we have with seniors as far as isolation and depression and some of those issues that happen just with getting older.
Right. That is correct. And especially the transportation part, because you're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. That is the part that really tells a person, hey, I got to
slow down now.
Yes,
that's your first real physical reminder that you're getting old. And you're like, this sucks. We all going to hit it.
But we like to remind people that JOY stands for just older youth.
Yeah.
So we hope that the seniors don't lose their youth. And so they might be losing some of their abilities, sure. But we hope that.
Well, and that's where you keep it is socializing and interacting and being a part of. Yeah, okay. So we can't do things the way we did because age, but now we got our wisdom and we can use our wisdom to our advantage. And a lot of that is social circles, working in friends, doing things, and sure, you have your transportation because you got to get from point A to point B and I don't have the ability to cook a meal right now, but I can come have a meal. Now you don't have to have a meal by yourself with your soup and crackers or whatever in front of the TV. Now you get to interact, mingle, meet some new friends, start your own social circles. Next thing you know, y'all be maybe starting your own little card game nights or things, or maybe y'all meet at the Joy Center or meet at somebody's house.
Right.
And next thing you know, you got your card buddy night, or you got your crochet, or whatever you're into. You find a group of people that also are into it, and that's kind of what the Joy Center does is, helps the social side too, and getting you, because that's people, humans, and I don't care what age you are, when you're left to your own devices and you're alone and isolated, that messes with your brain after a while. Even if for people that, quote, thrive in that, at some point, you need humans. You need things. And so, unfortunately, seniors, and as you get to a point in life where you can't do so many things on your own, you turn into shut-ins. And if you don't have family support nearby, all your relatives move to the East Coast or somewhere different, and you don't really have that, that's where the Joy Center can be that support and create your own social world. Yeah, we're going to pick you up and take you to the meals and stuff, but guess what? Meet Harry, meet Gertrude, meet these people that are also doing it. They, maybe y'all can find some friendship, some kinship here, and that's a good thing.
Right, and that brings me into what these girls do for us. So Iva works in our adult daycare program. And so the adult daycare is located only at the Roswell site.
Okay.
So it is what we call a social program.
Okay.
So very much what we were discussing.
Sure.
So they provide activities going on from, like, trying to move on from one activity into the next, into the next, and so on, to keep the seniors busy.
Sure.
Most of our seniors in the adult daycare are early Alzheimer's, early dementia.
Okay. So if your loved one is having some of those, then guess what? You're going to meet people also, which is, again, part of that support. Because especially when you're dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's, as those families know, that the family's dealing with that as much as the person that has it.
Right.
And so I imagine through osmosis a little bit, you get support groups just because now you're meeting families that are also in the same scenario you are. And that's a resource. That's strength. How do you have, when you have the hard days, because they're going to happen.
Right.
How do you fight them? How do you deal with them? How do you navigate through them? And now there's some other people that, so you as a family, even you as a loved one of a senior with dementia, you can feel like you're on an island too and not, I'm swamped here. Guess what? These families, am I right? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of just, because there's a lot of people experiencing the same thing, there's a lot of support just by default right there. So that's a good thing.
There is.
So please, if you are dealing with that, bring them, get them active and involved, and get them, I'm sure you and your staff, this is what you guys do. You're trained in this and helping with this. And so when you're having your roadblocks, maybe you guys can have an answer for some of that.
It gives the people peace of mind where their loved one is with us.
Absolutely.
During the day.
Well, that's the biggest fear when it comes is unknown and uncertainty. And even when the news isn't the best of news, at least when you know what's going to happen, you can get your mind right and get it to where you can navigate it, something like that.
And this program, it helps people that are still working. So, like, for example, myself, I work.
Yeah, day job.
I caregive for my father-in-law. So he has early dementia. So then I can bring him in, and I know that I can continue working and have that peace of mind that he's okay. Yeah. But also, we try to utilize it as a break for families. And I would say that's probably the biggest part. They need the respite.
Absolutely.
Because they're not going to the doctor. They're not getting a haircut.
They're not taking care of their own selves.
Correct.
You got to take care of your own mental health before you help other people's mental health.
Correct.
It's just... it doesn't work any other way.
Right. So we have all walks of life. We have people that are working, families that are still working. We have people that are just needing that extra respite to give them a break. And then sometimes even grandkids are the ones taking care of their family members or friends. And so this gives them, because just like you said, there's a lot of people that move out of the community, and so their parents maybe are here alone.
I imagine you probably deal with, especially like Hispanic families, where maybe some of the seniors or older generation aren't that fluent in English or navigating in English. And a lot of times it's the grandkids that are their Sherpas or interpreters or the ones that kind of help them navigate through the English stuff and all that. So these kids that are young kids that you're kind of like, they should just be doing kid stuff, have to fill into these adult roles at an early age, and they're already kind of there. Correct. So a lot of times you guys are working with some of these kids just to, to be that communicator between them and their relative.
Right.
So it's so if that's the scenario here, please utilize. You guys deal with this, work with this all the time. That's just what you guys do. It's not unusual for you.
Right. And we like to invite people to come and do a 3-day trial.
Okay.
So that we can put the family at ease that their loved one is in good hands. Mm-hmm. And then also to see how their loved one is going to do in that environment.
Sure.
So if they do well and they like it, they enjoy it, a lot of times we change their mind about it because...
Well, people are people. And
correct.
Every person's different, and let's face it, if they were kind of antisocial before the dementia and all that, they're not going to become social all of a sudden. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of act accordingly.
Right.
So,
right.
And that's kind of where the family comes in, and you work with them. And it's like, so when you have those cases, it's like, well, so-and-so wasn't that much into it before all this, so it's probably not going to embrace it too much now afterwards. You know what I mean?
Right.
So. But that's where the family gets involved, and you help them find other ways when it is those situations that it doesn't work for everyone, or like this person like it does everyone else. Right. Let's find a different way. And that's where you guys kind of shine and thrive a little bit, because you see it all.
And then on this side, we have Mari or Maricela Hernandez. Mari.
She's called her Mari because I can't say Maricela.
Mari is actually just a few, days old with us as the program director for our foster grandparent and senior companion program.
Okay.
She's worked with Joy Centers for 4 years.
So you're new to this one, but you've got experience doing this before and stuff. So
she's still learning about the volunteer programs. But the volunteer programs, what they do basically, our foster grandparents are seniors that are in the school district, so maybe at the Head Start or within the Roswell Public Schools, and they're assigned students with a one-on-one, and they help maybe with reading skills or social needs. Pretty much they have a plan when the teacher pairs them up, and they team up with the teacher and the student.
Giving them some of the home stuff that maybe they either didn't have or because of their scenario didn't have exposure to, or whatever. There's a different reason every time. But obviously these kids in school, the teachers are teaching a curriculum. Some of this kind of stuff slips through the cracks where these grandmas and grandpas can kind of come in and be that figure for them, that grandpa figure that everyone loves, and where the wisdom comes from, and you just accept it because it's coming from a place of love. And it's just like when your mom and your grandma could say the exact same thing, but sometimes it resonates with grandma and it don't resonate when mom says it. You know what I mean? And that's what we're talking about here.
Exactly. Now, these volunteer programs are different in that they do receive a stipend for their services. So, but it is a stipend that does not count against them. So if they, most of our volunteers are low income.
Gotcha.
And they
so
qualify.
if they qualify, and this won't mess with that, this is just to cover the expenses it costs you to get here and do whatever you need to do it.
Correct.
You're not getting rich off it by any stretch of the
Correct.
imagination.
Correct.
It's just to say, hey, we don't want you to come out of pocket to do this. This is something that we will cover for you. You're on a fixed income already. We're not asking you to give more to help this kid. We'll cover that for you.
Correct.
That's what we're saying here.
Yes. And then as the other part of the program is the senior companion program. And that's kind of where the two meet together between adult daycare. So the senior companion programs are seniors that sit with other seniors and for companionship. But it could be that same thing, they're providing that respite for somebody that's at home. Their loved one is not able to get out of the home anymore,
Gotcha.
so they're providing companionship so that that person can get out, run errands, or take care of themselves. But they can also, if their person that they're sitting with is able-bodied, if that person wants to say, go have lunch or go to the senior center, they can go together, because oftentimes that's how we convince a senior to go to the senior center is another senior brings them.
Absolutely. Strengthen, rubbing it off and all that. And it's like, hey, bring a friend. And hopefully they come a little apprehensive, but by the time they're done, they're fully engrossed and can't wait for the next one.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's what the two programs, and they're both stipend programs.
Good.
So that's how that part of it works.
I imagine if you want to sign up for these services, all you got to do is contact the Joy Center. They'll explain all of that process. Can they do it in and out where, some people are going to need this every day, but maybe say they had a fall or something where they're seniors, but they're normally pretty self-sufficient, but they had a fall and now they need it for maybe a couple months. Is that something that you guys do too, where it's like, I don't need it all the time, but I need it for the next 3 months because I had a fall or something like that? Can they sign up for temporary services as well as all the time, or is it something, no, once you're in, we kind of got to keep you going in?
No. It can be temporary service. And a lot of times that's how we bring people in.
Okay, so that's where most of them is like, hey, I just had a fall. I need you for a couple weeks. And then the couple weeks are over and this was kind of handy. Am I eligible to do this all the time?
Right. Because we've been here since the 70s, and it's amazing how many people still don't know about our program.
Yeah.
And so when we get people in, it might have been a referral either from a home health agency or from a medical office or a hospital, and so they're sending them to us.
Gotcha.
And so yes, we do get people that are temporary. If they had a fall, even if they had the flu for 2 weeks, they don't want to be out in public.
So if you just need it for a
whatnot.
month or two, awesome. But if you need it full time, yes, we can do that too.
Correct.
So whatever your needs are, we can adjust accordingly, basically.
Correct.
Awesome.
And if it's an in-home service, which is like home delivered meals and housekeeping, which I hadn't mentioned, those are services that a caseworker needs to go to the home and do a home visit.
Make sure.
So they'll make sure that the client is in need.
Okay.
First of all, and then the other reason for the home visit is because we try to ensure that we're providing as everything that this person needs. Because
so
maybe they only
insurance
ask.
can cover some of this stuff.
Well, we don't do billing through insurance.
Okay.
So we are a nonprofit.
Okay.
So we are just set up for, we get state and federal funding.
Okay.
But then in addition to that, we rely on our donations.
But I imagine too is if maybe some of your patients qualify for some of this stuff, but don't really know how to navigate it, some of your folks can kind of, hey, we can do some paperwork to help you get paid for this stuff, or get someone to pay to do these things for you too. Like say you have a family member that's your caregiver and they're the ones, and you're like, well, they have a job, they have this. Well, maybe we can put you in touch with the entities that can, so they get a paycheck for helping you, and that way they don't go broke trying to take care of you, and because there are times to that. So
right.
So but you guys offer that for folks that can't afford or maybe don't have some of those available to them,
or need that supplemental.
Yes.
So we can
or don't get it covered because of
right.
Insurance only covers up to this or that or whatever hoop they created.
Right. So we can either supplement or be the service, but we also, the whole point as well, our case managers come in and we need a help, refer them. Our case manager is really good. She's oftentimes been boggled down with applications and helping them apply for these other services that they're eligible for. And it's absolutely right, because there's nobody there to tell them, did you know you qualify for this, or
unless
you
know
might
the system,
qualify?
you don't know.
Right.
And your people deal with the system every day, so they know the ins and outs. They know what's going to hit a roadblock and what's going to have a chance to stream through. So tap into that.
Yes, absolutely. And our case manager has been with us for over 40 years.
So
she knows the
some
community
wisdom and
really
expertise
well.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
She knows the community really well. She helps people fill out their applications for housing, pretty much anything that people need. They've come through our office and we've helped.
And even like your vet stuff, you can probably put them in touch with the vet court. I always tell you, get in touch with the American Legions and stuff. You're a vet, they can, but certainly the Joy Center can help you there too. If you're a veteran and you're trying to access some of those things, they have experts that can help you navigate through that gauntlet of stuff too.
Yes, and we pretty much try to put you in touch with the right people.
Sure.
So
exactly too. So that being said, when they're not busy doing all that stuff, there's events and things that happen. It's social events and things like that, and so certainly you allow your facilities for other organizations. I know, like in the past, like the Literacy Council usually does their Knowledge Bowl at the Joy Center every year. That's kind of a staple. So there's a lot of extracurricular activities that do happen at the Joy Center too. So if your organization's needing that kind of, reach out to the Joy Center. Maybe they offer a facility that on weekends when they're not doing their thing, they can allow you to open up their space. And I imagine that provides you guys some income to do things that maybe whatever's earmarked for other, like, because I'm sure you do a lot of grant and a lot of stuff, and so when you get monies for that, we got it, but it's only earmarked for X. And if you have an event or something that you just want to do on a whim, and it's like, well, we got to cover it with the general fund. People that rent the facility and stuff like that give you guys a little extra income to do the stuff that isn't earmarked for something specific. Is that correct, or is that
well,
accurate?
we don't really rent out our facility
It's all free?
much.
Okay.
So
forget everything I just said.
we do work with the Literacy Council,
Gotcha.
and they do have the Knowledge Bowl. So you're absolutely right.
Gotcha.
We are usually their location for that event. We do have a few events of our own. Occasionally, we'll do a breakfast fundraiser.
Yeah, your Joy Center, usually around the holidays, around Christmas time, or around...
We do one around Christmas, around Mother's Day, and the other one is kind of hit or miss. We kind of just pick a date.
Gotcha. Well, the only reason I know Christmas, because usually that's because you offer shopping as well as breakfast. So you come for the food, stay for the shopping.
Correct.
And usually they're built around that.
Yes. And then our biggest one is our trunk or treat event.
Which is right around the corner.
It is right around the corner. Right now, we are recruiting people that want to open up their trunks and decorate them and hand out candy.
Okay.
But the main reason why we brought this particular event to our center is, one, we are senior center. We're not a kid facility.
Sure.
However, who's usually got the kids?
The grandkids.
The grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
So it brings people to our center, and it makes them aware of who we are.
Plus, it gives the grandparents a chance to show up their grandkids. Hey, this is my boy. This is my girl. You matter. We've been talking about her for months now. Here she is.
Absolutely, that too. And
Yeah.
so it gives us, even though they're kind of dressed like Freddy Krueger.
Sure.
Or something.
Yeah, they're in costume.
But we do get to see their grandkids, and they are pretty. It's pretty cool.
It's
to
a family
watch.
thing. It's just family and yeah, come and so if you'd like to participate, if you'd like to set up your vehicle and open up your trunk and do your themed Halloween themed fun here, please reach out to the Joy Center sooner rather than later, so we can guarantee a spot for you in the parking lot and everything there. Is there a drop dead RSVP date that they need to get those to you by?
No, Alex, who is the one that's in charge of it, is usually pretty good about being able to accommodate.
Okay.
Because we will utilize both of our parking lots if we have to.
That's the idea, is to fill this thing
right,
up. Yeah.
Right. And but this year's theme is Friday the 13th.
Okay.
The 13th falls on Friday.
So
that
in October here this month?
Yes.
So, okay.
So, and we usually try to get ahead of the 31st date so we can get
So when it's the busy week, we're trying to get you early so you can do like some pregame at ours, and then when you plot your course of action for Halloween night on all the different trunk or treats or neighborhoods you're going to hit,
right.
we don't have to worry about us because you hit us earlier.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
But it's a lot of fun. We have games that we set up ourselves, and then
All family friendly, obviously.
All of them are family friendly.
Yeah.
And we have people that come and they not only park their vehicles and decorate and hand out candy, but they also have a game, or they might do a
Fun
little
activity or something.
Haunted house or something.
Something for the kids to get to do besides eat a candy bar, something that they can have some fun with.
And we usually have food trucks or some sort of little concession.
So follow your nose, you'll see the pizza, tacos, and burgers and all that stuff will be
all
there
that
too.
good stuff, yes. And this year, the Joy Center will actually have a concession. I don't know exactly what's on the menu yet, but we will be having our own concession.
Put it this way, it's probably all delicious home-cooked stuff because it's a bunch of grandmas and grandpas cooking.
Probably. And we do the cakewalk every year.
Good.
That's a big hit. And so we're always taking donations for the
so if you like to help out that
or
way,
candy, or if you want to just come out and help with the booths because we put on the games, and it's just a lot of fun. It really is. It's one day that we get to act.
let your hair down a little bit and have some fun. So give everybody the date, everything, and times for this year's trunk or treat.
October 13th.
Okay.
5
Friday.
p.m. Friday, the 13th.
Yes. So watch out for any ladders and black cats and all that good stuff.
And it'll be from 5 to 8 p.m.
Good deal. And come in costume if you want. Like I said, we're theming with Friday the 13th. So, if you want to go, we can't have 37 Jason Voorhees out there.
Well,
so,
actually, let me tell you what we put on our schedule this time.
Okay. Very good. Oh, there will be a costume contest. So come. How many Jason Voorhees can we get? So maybe we'll. Put it this way. There might be a shortage of hockey masks on sale in stores right
Right.
now. So.
Right. Or come as your favorite character from one of the movies.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah,
or,
exactly. Some of his ancillary. I mean, you could throw some Freddy in there. They had some screen time together here, or just be random camper A.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that's always has the bad idea of going into the worst place possible in one of these movies. It's like, you're right. Why didn't you just leave? Run. Anyway, another story. If anybody has any questions about anything we talked to, the services of the Joy Center, to the trunk or treat, or anything, best way is what, by phone or by website? What's the best way to kind of get some questions answered?
Probably the best way to get a hold of us is on our telephone
on the phone,
office at the Roswell office. That's our main office.
The main Joy Center there, the Roswell Joy Center.
And we can get you connected with any of the facilities. But if you're just looking for information, call the Roswell site at 575-623-4866.
If you want to be a volunteer, or if you need some services and have questions, or if you're like, hey, I want to do the trunk or treat, what's my parameters? How do I get a trunk space? And how big can I get? How small can I go? I want to do I'm going to do a whole haunted house. I need some acreage. What do you got?
We can actually help with that.
Well, for folks that have been to the Joy Center out there, was it Montana? I think is the actual road there. There's a lot of open space out there. There's it's a neighborhood area. But I think the not VFW, American Legion's down the road there, and the Joy Center. So it's kind of that quiet area that's set for things like this. So there's a lot of space to do things around.
Yes.
So don't worry about room. You can set up a whole carnival out there if you needed to.
Yeah.
And we have.
We have.
Good deal. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to share? Anything we just want to talk about that I skipped over or just didn't talk about? Did we get it all?
Maybe just the ADC board.
Yeah, okay.
Just on that. We're open from Monday to Thursday from 8 to 3, Fridays from 8 to 2.
Okay.
We do transport if they need their loved ones picked up and transported back.
Just call and give us a heads up. And
Yes,
we'll
and
make
let
that
us
happen.
know. Yes, it's an amazing program. A lot of the people who first go are kind of skittish, but once they get used to it, they don't want to miss.
Mm-hmm.
They have their friends there. It's kind of like
You're creating your whole social circle.
Yes,
You really are.
yes. They play bingo. They have 2 snacks. They have a meal.
Yeah.
You know,
and it gives independence for caregivers. If you have
does.
family, even if they're not dementia or senior, but let's just face it, when your parents get older, you're always like, let's keep an eye on them. Let's watch out for them, you know. But, you know, the peace of mind for you. You know, they're at their place with their friends and everybody's having a good time. And to be honest, if there's times where you're like, why do I have more free time all of a sudden? Because Grandma and Grandpa have been at the Joy Center hanging out and having a good time. That's why you got more free time.
Right. And one of the things I'd like to say about that is that we tend to have clients that are early Alzheimer's dementia, but that doesn't mean that the program is only for people with Alzheimer's
You're a senior
and dementia.
and looking for some social and some benefits and things, yeah, please come. By all means, this isn't a medical thing. If you're happy, healthy, just a senior, there's plenty for you to do. If you're dealing with medical issues, which most seniors are, because that's what happens when you get older, then we can help you with that too.
Right.
But yeah, you don't have to have any problems. You could just, you know, if you're just a senior looking for making friends and looking for adding to your social scene, Joy Center's going to help you out with that. So.
And if you're a senior and still looking for something to do, contact Maricela's program.
Sure.
And
I mean, she'll put you to work.
She will put you to work.
She'll put you to work. Whether you can say her name right or not, she'll still put you to work. Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies. Welcome. Welcome to, where did you come from? Just curiosity.
I'm actually a hairdresser.
Okay. Were you from Roswell, though, or did you come
Yes.
from another part of the state? Okay. So you're going to the whole new line of work and everything,
I'm
too.
still currently a hairdresser,
Okay.
but experiencing too many years of the field, so now I'm trying to
So seniors,
find something.
butter Maudie up. She might give you a free haircut. Just saying. What she's doing is like, hey, can you take a little off the side here while you're at it? And she's actually trained to do that.
And you know, speaking of that, we do in our activities, they do actually offer haircuts for the men.
Okay.
So they can call the Roswell site and they can find out a little more about that if they're interested. In addition to the exercise classes or
Absolutely.
the pool rooms and whatnot.
Get out there, get involved. If you're needing help with resources and you're a senior, if they can't help you directly at the Joy Center, they can put you in touch with the people that can help you directly.
Correct.
So if you have any kind of need as a senior, call the Joy Center. No matter what it is, they'll put you in touch with the people that they can't help you directly for it. So please reach out. It is a resource for seniors. It's a resource for families, everybody. That's what it is first and foremost, is a resource. So good deal. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank
Well,
you.
now that all three of you here, I don't want the place to burn down, so better let you guys get back to work there. and of course, we need to get you back in as we get close to Christmas here and all this. And as we get close to trunk or treat, we want to remind folks, hey, don't forget it's Friday Friday the 13th right around the corner. Don't forget, come out to the Joy Center and get your pregame Halloweening on there at the Joy Center. Good deal. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
Now, your Pecos Valley News update. I'm Jared Sorello. An explosion and possible well blowout on Saturday causing serious commotion near Carlsbad. Emergency crews responded to the intersection of Happy Valley and Jones Street just after noon Saturday. They determined the property belonged to Enterprise. The blowout was believed to have been caused by a gas line rupture, and that ignited into a big ball of fire. Community representatives also responded and shut down the fuel line. Eddy County fire crews remained at the scene for hours until the line burned itself out. Thankfully, nobody was injured. Mounting calls for New Mexico's Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham to either resign or be impeached after her surprise executive order Friday banning all firearms from being carried in public in Albuquerque and Bernalillo County. The order including both open carry and concealed carry of firearms. Grisham said she was compelled to act because of a series of shootings in Albuquerque, including one that killed an 11-year-old boy near a baseball game last week and a group of targeted shootings against Muslim men last month. Lujan Grisham backed up the order by claiming there was a public health emergency. Police and licensed security guards, of course, are exempt from the order. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Hi, everyone. Happy Victory Monday. I'm Christy Scales with your Cowboys report. The boys opened the season with a 40-0 annihilation on the road at the New York Giants. Details after this.
Cowboys Nation is big because everything's bigger in Texas. And Reliant has the energy to power it all. From home field advantage to home sweet home, Reliant has Dallas Cowboys fans all across the Lone Star State covered for every electric moment this season and beyond. Reliant. proud to be the official energy provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Reliant, PUCT number 10007.
Becky Hammond on being the first woman to coach in the NBA.
What if it's no big deal that I'm a woman? What if it's about striving for excellence and being the best me without the label?
It's not about where others say you should be. It's about where you want to go. It's about a financial services company that focuses on your measures of success. Whether it's for your home or business, we offer personalized service and expert advice to help you achieve your unique goals.
Visit swbc.com for financial services without the labels.
If you had Noah Igbenogany as the first Cowboy to score in the 2023 season, bingo. The Cowboys got a big road win over the Giants last night, 40-0, and it started with Noah's touchdown return of a field goal blocked by Wanye Thomas. But it was the Cowboy defense that dominated with 7 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and 2 interceptions, including a pick 6. And what defensive leader J. Ron Kearse really loved, a shutout.
I'm excited to get that first shutout. I'm excited. That's our first shutout since we've been together. We've done a lot of things together. That's the one thing we haven't done. And I'm excited to start this year off the right way, from the top to the bottom. From the top to the bottom, we got guys that's going to get after it.
Tony Pollard ran for 2 scores, Cavante Turpin another, and rookie kicker Brandon Aubrey made 2 field goals. With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales.
A comedian once said, "No one can tell me anything, not even myself." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, most people stop listening and start forming an answer or response when someone's talking to them within 7 seconds, so they miss most of the information.
John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me."
You know, when Julie and I were preparing for this, she looked right at me after I spoke for a while and said, "What?" I guess we all have work to do in listening. But you know what? Just like learning to know God takes time and focus and to know His voice, it's going to take time and focus to really get to know our spouse and to really start enjoying and loving marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by visiting our website, nationalguard.com/NM.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
It was 22 years ago today, the 9/11 terror attacks, a day frozen in the hearts and minds of so many Americans, a day to pause in remembrance of the more than 3,000 people who lost their lives. The mournful sound of taps in memory of those who died when one of the hijacked jetliners flew into the Pentagon. Ceremonies at Ground Zero in New York. The tribute in New York includes a reading of the names of the victims aloud, and on the hallowed grounds of Shanksville, Pennsylvania, the heroic passengers of United Flight 93 are being recalled for their sacrificial bravery, the way they forced the hijacked airliner to crash rather than reaching the terrorists' intended target. Despite China's aggression in the South China Sea, its ongoing threats against Taiwan, the theft of intellectual property and American technology, and the spy balloon incident, President Biden says he is not out to contain communist China. In the president's words, we're all better off if China does well. While unleashing mountainous waves on the islands of the Caribbean, Hurricane Lee is not expected to make landfall.
Hurricane Lee was generating pretty heavy swells for several islands, including the U.S. Virgin Islands, the BVI, and Puerto Rico. And those swells are expected to peak early into the week with waves of up to 20 feet for Puerto Rico and nearby islands.
And that's correspondent Danica Cotto reporting from Puerto Rico. Along the East Coast, forecasters say we could see some rough surf in the coming days. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 49 points, the NASDAQ ahead 66. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
South Korean media says that a North Korean train, one that presumably is carrying dictator Kim Jong-un, is on its way to Russia.
Unidentified South Korean government sources were reported as saying that Kim's train most likely left North Korea on Sunday evening for a meeting with Putin as early as Tuesday. U.S. officials had recently released intelligence suggesting the North Korean and Russian leaders were arranging to meet. According to U.S. officials, Putin could focus on securing more supplies of North Korean artillery and other ammunition to fuel its war in Ukraine. I'm Karen Chamas.
And the Kremlin now saying there will be a Putin-Kim meeting in the coming few days. The British government resists to label China a threat to the UK. The calls are coming from some political leaders after the revelation that a researcher in Parliament had been arrested earlier this year on suspicion of spying for Beijing. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. One of the most active volcanoes in the world wakes up.
Kilauea began erupting Sunday after a 2-month pause, displaying glowing lava that's a safe distance from people and structures in a national park on the Big Island. The Hawaii Volcano Observatory says gases released by the eruption will cause volcanic smog downwind of Kilauea. Hawaii's second largest volcano erupted from September 2021 until last December. A 2018 Kilauea eruption destroyed more than 700 homes. Rhonda Rockstra reporting.
An explosion at an Archer Daniels Midland facility in Illinois has injured several employees, also sent a huge plume of smoke high into the sky. ADM says the blast occurred shortly after 7 last evening, happened at a processing complex in Decatur, Illinois. The agricultural products company says several injured employees were taken to a nearby hospital. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
Feel the hot wind on my shoulder, and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio, I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy miracles.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Monday. Hey, I do want to tell folks, I know with the governor's edict on Friday with the health order funness, I would not normally tell you to go listen to other people's programming. But,
Tune us out.
But at 9:10 this morning, Gene Dow, and I'm going to try to replay this tomorrow on our show.
Yep.
But Gene Dow is going to be interviewing Jim Townsend, I guess he'd be the House minority leader for our state house here.
Yep.
And he also represents his actual home district is Artesia. So he's got thoughts of his own what the governor did on Friday. So I have a chance to listen. He's going to be on at 9:10 here in just a few minutes on our sister station, 990 AM. Or if you go to ksdptv.com, where you normally go to find me, click on the other one, Gene in the Morning Show.
The other guy.
Yeah, the other guy.
You're having trouble keeping track? He has hair.
Yeah, he's on with hair. And he's
but before you tune away,
he's 10 years older than me, but looks 10 years younger than me.
It is kind of astonishing. I want to know who his moisturizer or what his moisturizer is. Before you tune away and go to Gene's show, I wanted to mention this. On September 17th, weather permitting, you're invited to watch the Alpha 5 team as they attempt a world record skydive to raise money for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. The Alpha 5 team is going to hold 2 practice events before this big day. On September 15th, they're going to jump from 18,000 feet. On September 16th, they're going to jump from 26,000 feet. Now, for the world record attempt, they're going to ascend to more than 35,000 feet in a hot air balloon. Then 4 current and former U.S. Air Force Special Warfare pararescue specialists, together with Larry Connor, entrepreneur, astronaut, philanthropist, and founder of the Connor Group,
pararescue specialist,
will jump, link arms, and safely separate. So if you guys want to come out and check that out, it's happening pretty much this weekend.
I'm assuming there's 5 of them, hence the Alpha 5.
Yeah. There's the 4. Well, there's the 4 current and former U.S. specialists, and then Larry Connor.
Or Larry Connor.
Yeah. So
cool.
There you go.
Cool.
They be jumping.
Good deal. And that's September 18th.
September 17th.
17th, and that's the jump.
I don't know if this is associated, but a couple weeks ago we were at the all-inclusive park.
They've been practicing for.
And we watched skydivers come in on parachutes, and for a split second I thought they were drones.
Yeah.
Because up in the sky with my nearsightedness, all you could see was the red stripe on their outfits, and it looked like drones.
You weren't doing the move from Hot Shots, were you? It's like they're back, and he jumps behind the. I love a good funeral. Oh, they have any respect for the dead.
Jumping Jesus.
They're back. Where do you get the hand grenade from?
I love those little weird questions. Like a couple weeks ago, India successfully landed a rocket on the moon. And they showed a video of it. Whole time, all I could think was, who took the video?
Well, it's kind of like the moon landing. You know how they say, well, who's the guy showing the video of the moon? Right. There's a camera that they set up.
It's like that. Well, that's why I always loved the Survivor man, Les Stroud, because when you watched his show, you would see him do those like long trips, and then you'd have to come back and get his camera.
Right, yeah, exactly.
They'd always show that.
Actually, you know what? If you ever watch the HBO, that series that came out, I want to say in the late 90s, early 2000s, From Earth to the Moon, with Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, yeah.
And there was like, 10 or 12 episode miniseries about us going to the moon. I want to say it's one of the last episodes. They do a really cool job of talking about the very thing you're just saying with how did they get the camera and how did they get that happening. And basically they tried on almost all the Apollo missions and had not a lot of success. Like the one you see that worked is like Apollo 17.
Oh, wow.
Like every other time the camera fell or too much dust or it just didn't work. But I believe it's 17. That's the one that's like, we got the good one. And so now you see a lot of it's that one.
That's the glory shot.
But there was a lot of attempts to do that shot, and just nature didn't cooperate.
Admittedly, it is very impressive, and props to the Indian, NASA, or whatever their NASA is.
Yeah.
Because they did this whole thing on like $750,000.
Yeah.
Like less than $1 million, they got an unmanned craft to the moon.
I would guess it's a lot easier to put something on the moon now than it was.
Probably
50 years ago.
Oh, 100. There's more technology in my hand than there was on the first.
Yeah, your smartphone is more
moon.
advanced than any of the Apollo capsules that went to the moon.
Exactly.
So
they did it with like a abacus and like a speak and spell.
Yeah, they actually had to do math with a pencil and sliders and stuff like that.
Oh, it's so fun. It's so funny to me when you watch like an older fellow break out a slide rule,
Mm-hmm.
and the kid's like, "What are you going to do with that thing?"
Man, I can make the straightest of line with that. That's so handy. It is. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few. Then in just a couple more minutes, we're going to talk Roswell Seed. John and Crystal Noble will join us, give us an update on what's happening at Roswell Seed this morning. And later on now, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety and Wall Street Business Update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But if you want to check out the interview with Jim Townsend, that's going on right now, 9:90 a.m. Like I said, I'll try to run it tomorrow morning and during our show. If you don't have time to catch it right now, or don't have the means to get on a computer to go see it, because it's a little hard to pick up 9:90 a.m. here in Roswell. It's just how AM waves work and FM waves and all that stuff. But anyway, it is 12 minutes, closing in on 13 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date with the weather. It's just like Good News Bear, all weather, all good news, rain, cooler temps. I'm like, did I wake up in Roswell? Because I'm pretty sure someone done moved the town on us while we were sleeping last night. They done change the weather, but here it is.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll get a mix of sunshine and clouds today. We have a low-pressure system over the Texas Panhandle and a cold front dropping in from the Central Rockies. Could get some showers and thunderstorms, and our afternoon high about 90. Scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight with lows in the mid-60s, and then a lot cooler on Tuesday. Scattered showers around and our afternoon high in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 70 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 71%. Coincidence? But winds are blowing out of the northeast at 9 miles per hour. We are looking at 70% chance at rain showers today. Partly cloudy with highs near 90. That's our hottest day of the week today, 90. Winds will be out of the northeast, 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're saying less than 1/10 of an inch of rain unless we actually get a thunderstorm through the area. Tonight, our chance of rain is at 60%. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 62. Winds will be out of the northeast, 10 to 15. Again, less than 1/10 of an inch of rain, 1/10 to a quarter, unless we get a thunderstorm through the area. Tuesday, we are looking at a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy, high of 74 tomorrow. The high is 74. We're almost that now. That's awesome. We are looking at northeast winds 5 to 10. They're saying we could get anywhere from 1/10 to a quarter inch of rain tomorrow, unless we get a thunderstorm through the area, then a little bit more than that. 70% chance of rain tomorrow night as well. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 64. 50% chance of rain Wednesday, partly cloudy and 81. 50% chance of rain Wednesday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 62. 20% chance of rain on Thursday, mostly sunny and 86. Friday, 20% chance at rain, partly cloudy and 86. Saturday, 30% chance of rain, partly cloudy and 82. And Sunday, 20% chance of rain, partly cloudy and 86. So I think there's a chance. We'll see. All right, it is 9:15. We're going to take a quick 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we'll talk the seeds of Roswell. Roswell Seed up next. Don't go. I don't think that makes sense, but it works for that. We'll go with that. 9:15, we'll be back on the other side.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically, it left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
Rosa, have you decided where you're going to college yet?
There's so many choices. I'm still not sure.
Well, I've decided to attend the University of New Mexico. It's the only Research One university in the state. It's the flagship, and their academic programs are among the best in the nation.
The University of New Mexico? Can I still apply?
Of course. UNM is New Mexico's best university, and residents of New Mexico get preference in admission. Apply now, and we'll attend UNM together.
The University of New Mexico, New Mexico's University of Opportunity. Apply today at unm.edu.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from Roswell Seed, John and Crystal Noble back with us. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing today?
Good morning. Good morning. Doing okay. I'm here with my handler. So.
That's right.
It's true. I couldn't even get in the damn front door of this building.
I know exactly how you mean. I, too, have a wife that makes me look like I'm a functioning adult as well.
Yeah.
But a little do they know.
It's got to be a difficult task. I mean, it's not like I make it difficult, although the 3-point parking or the parallel parking a little while ago, I made that difficult. But,
well, what happens is our idiosyncrasies are cute when we're dating, but after a few years of marriage,
it's just war.
Yeah, it's just like
war. She picked the wrong person to go to war with. I mean, honestly,
Yeah, I get it.
I'm classified as a toddler now. I think it's great. I love it.
Well, and that's why I'm a little mad, because my whole goal in life is to literally be that old guy that gets to say whatever they want, and people just like, oh, he's just old. Let's let him say it. Because when growing up, I had a ton of old people that said the most outlandish things, and we just like, oh, they're old, no big deal.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't wait. Why I get to say whatever I want? People just chalk it up as being old.
That'll never happen.
No, I can't do it anymore because I'm like, dang. So I'm a little shortchanged on
I don't know. I pretty much do.
Yeah, but we don't live around a bunch of pansies.
Well, yeah, that's true. I get a lot of oh my god moments from her. She's like, oh my god, really? Because I said something.
I know when I went over the line is because my wife's from East Texas. She's got that East Texas drawl to her a little bit, but it gets more pronounced as she gets agitated or excited. And so if I hear because normally I just get a mic.
Yeah.
But if I get a Mike, and I'm like, when it goes to like 3 different vowels, Mike, and I'm like, I'm in trouble. So I know that's when I cross the line.
I love it. I gotta start trying that. I really do.
I don't have a draw.
Huh? No, but you got octane levels.
See, the longer you're married, you get more wisdom.
Yeah.
It does happen.
I get the stutter no. No. That's what I call the stutter no.
And that's like, all right.
Yeah, and then I look like the little kid, like, ooh. And then it's like, oh.
There's the line. Do not cross it.
Do I do it or do I not?
Oh,
what do we have for dinner
he
tonight?
dances on it.
Yeah. Oh, I do. I dance all over it. But my thing is, what do we have for dinner tonight? It's okay. That claim, am I going to be good? Or am I going to go ahead and cross that line? 9 times out of 10, I cross the line because I'm a toddler.
Every day is a Kenny Rogers song, the gambler who's done no one to hold him, fold him, walk away and run.
That's it, yeah.
And that's the secret to life.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Now, how do we fix people's yards and gardens? That's the next thing.
Man.
You don't right now.
Yeah, right now, probably. In all fairness, is this moisture a good thing? Like, if we get all this moisture as far as crops and things like that, I know we always want rain, but you don't all want it in the same day.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Right now, I mean, the people that are planting wheat and oats and stuff, it's a lot of dry land pasture. So yeah, they want the rain.
Gotcha.
Alfalfa growers, yeah, they kind of hit and miss, and they tap dance on that line because.
Sure.
If they cut alfalfa and it's on the ground and it rains, well, then the
they have a real
goes
finite
down.
window which they can get it and get the most out of it.
Yeah.
And if the variables change just slightly, it can be a huge change in that number as far as how much they sell versus how much they don't sell.
Right. Well, basically the price of what it is. I mean, if it's, what they refer to as striped hay, that means it's got rained on and stuff like that. If it's striped hay, the price goes
down. So is
alfalfa
alfalfa pretty much just feed for livestock? Is that mostly what it's used for? Or is it
generally? Yeah.
I didn't know if there was other uses for it that people. Every time I hear it's just usually for feed.
Yeah, it's just generally for feed. But I don't know. Some other people. I don't know. You're kind of weird. What are the other used for?
And that's when the fight started.
Actually, started with the barking earlier.
I noticed the hand shapes
You just got a haircut, so it'll feel a lot worse when I.
A lot less padding there.
That's all right. I got plenty of brain space.
Rattling.
A lot of water to protect it.
A lot of water. That's what the doctor told me. He was all like, "You need B12 shots," and I was like, "Why?" He says, "Your brain is shrinking." I'm like, "I'm good with that. I'm okay with it." She got all mad.
I don't use it that much anyway.
It's like, what do I have to use it for? So no alfalfa, but everybody right now, they should start looking at anybody that's wanting to plant fescue lawn. This is the
window.
time. Yeah, this is the time. It's starting right now. Temperatures are dropping down, especially this week. Been kind of telling people, we're staying in the mid 70s, high 60s at night, and then we're getting into the 80s and 90s during the day. Ground temperatures are coming down, and that's what you want for fescue.
Sure.
So yeah, it's getting time. People that have been coming in saying, "Hey, my gardens haven't really been doing anything." Watch now; they're going to start producing fruit. She's got tomato plants right now that are just boiling over. It's like, oh god, and she's getting really big tomatoes, and it's cooling down.
Does bigger mean better usually on tomatoes, or do you lose taste when that happens?
Sometimes they're just as fruitful and sweet, and sometimes it's just. Depending on the variety of the tomato, too. But
because that's always people are, wow, look how big they are. I'm like, yeah, but sometimes big isn't always better when it comes to certain fruits. And
I fertilize the crap out of them, though.
That's a pun.
Yeah, literally.
But also, Roswell Seed is looking to start getting a different fertilizer from a different vendor.
Okay.
And so he brought a sample. So we are trying that sample out on my garden to see,
to see how it's doing.
See how it does. See if it's comparable to what they have.
Nice.
And they're bigger. I haven't tasted any yet, but they're bigger.
But I would probably even argue because, when we've talked about this, depending on what part of town, the soil is so different from the north end to the south end.
Yeah.
I imagine, depending on what part of town you use it to, you probably get varying results.
And you might have to fertilize a little bit more on a certain area of town versus another area of town. You might only fertilize once a month.
Yeah, because I'm imagine depending on the nutrients and things, it's like, well, how come my pumpkins grow much better at this end of town than this end of town?
Yeah.
But green chilies look way better here than the pumpkins do.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's because of that, because we have that aquifer that just moves minerals up and down, we willy-nilly there. It really does make our soil very...
alkaline-y.
Yeah, but just all over the place.
This is where we get our knowledge from. It's not like I go up north and take soil samples, or I go to the east side of town and take soil samples. I don't do anything like that. It's our customers.
Sure.
You know, hey, this is what happened. This is what, and then we
You got 100 years of reports there.
Yeah,
basically.
more or less. And then we kind of formulate, and then that's when because some people like when they come to the store and what side of town do you live on? You know, and they just kind of look at me like, really? And it's like, yeah,
it impacts the dirt we're talking
and
about here,
okay, you live here. Okay, yeah, you're dealing with clay soil, sandy soil. You know, you're dealing with caliche. You're dealing with this. You're dealing with that. Generally, I know different parts of town and stuff like that, and it's always kind of funny when you almost have to be an investigator to find out about what they're asking you about. It's,
sure.
That, and you just kind of like,
Well, and let's face it, we live in extreme climate. Like, we live in a desert. It's different than people that live on the East Coast where the climates, or West Coast, or other places with vegetation where it's more temperate.
Right.
They have 4 seasons.
New
Therefore,
Mexico strives to keep making new records of how long and how hot we're going to be.
Why do you think the things that live in the desert naturally are the scariest looking things? That includes your plants too, not just the animals. It's because they're built to survive in this kind of environment.
Oh, yeah.
They've adapted.
We try to bring in things that aren't necessarily built to be in these kinds of, so we have to adapt, adjust, and so this is why these questions we're talking about are so different.
Oh, yeah.
If you're trying to bring in yucca plants or things that are designed to be thrive in a desert climate, then you don't have to worry about soils and stuff. You just put a hole and put it in there because it's the desert. But when you're trying to play grass in a place that's like, what's grass?
Yeah, basically.
Then you got to do a little science on that thing.
I mean, we get people that come in, and the biggest one that we always get is like right now, am I watering my tree enough? And it's like, well, how big's the tree?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I don't care about the height. How big around is the trunk? Because if it's over 16 inches to 18 inches in circumference, it's probably already in a water aquifer. It's getting water.
Gotcha.
And then you're watering every other day on top of it. You're actually killing the tree.
Yeah.
And you can't, you can actually kill a tree in the desert. Oh yeah.
Well, and that's, age and youth, a younger tree where the roots aren't as deep in sediment, you have to water it more because it's not getting to where the water is.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas a more mature tree that's got longer roots has probably dipped a couple toes of root into that. And so it's getting water supply as it needs it, and so that's why you're not running through the forest watering trees.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And then everybody's coming in right now. They got brown leaves.
Yeah.
Okay. The season is changing. The tree is starting to shift gears now, and it's heat burn.
I'm guessing what you see more here is not so much not getting enough water. It's some of the nutrients and things, and then you're like, why is my leaves turning yellow quicker? Or why are the leaves hardy at the bottom of the tree, but looks like it's dead at the top of the tree?
No.
These are the kind of things that you can come to Roswell and see. All right, we need to put some stuff in your soil. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
A lot of people do the trees for windbreaks, but what they don't realize is those trees are taking the brunt of the wind and the heat. That damages the trees too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We live in a harsh environment. It's just that's what it is.
And you can overwater a tree in the desert. Yes. On multiple occasions. I always tell people, if you start seeing that leaf curling, and it's not changing color, but it's curling, that's too much water.
Sure.
That's an indication of too much water. Now, if it's curling and turning black, you better go talk to your neighbor because they sprayed something. There's 1,000 scenarios for different things for just our area.
Yeah.
And we know most of them. We got it kind of down pat. On some of the other ones, no, we're learning.
Sure.
There's always kind of new stuff.
Well, it's always changing. I mean, Mother Nature, there's a reason why. I mean, Mother Nature, doesn't mean you think you got a handle on it, it throws a curveball on it. That's what Mother Nature does. And it's no different in your world. It's granted, it's not like hurricanes, like, well, that took a turn all of a sudden. But a slight change in balance of that chemical composure can make a huge difference in the flourishing of a plant. It's just that's science. It's how it works. And if there's too much iron here and this plant doesn't like iron, then guess what? It's not going to do well in here. That's
I
just
like that. The chemical composure.
Yeah.
Your chemical composure changes all the time. Now, some days I thrive, some days I don't.
And that's why that's why you let experts come in and it is trial and error.
Oh,
Sometimes
definitely.
you're like, well, that didn't work. Well, let's try this. Maybe it's there's something finicky going on there. There's a variable we're missing, or there's something. that's going on there. And who knows? Maybe it's another factor. Maybe it's an animal that's causing something. We don't know. It's
That's what she was getting mad because, not really mad, but she was just like, well, why are we putting this on my garden? Because you have a garden. We're trying this out on your garden.
Sure.
You have a garden.
Sure. You're the guinea pig, I guess.
Yeah. We do try out products that we get. I mean, I don't sell a product that I don't know really about.
And that's what you always, Roswell Seed, long before you were here, and when the Gill family started this 100+ years ago, that's what they do. It's trial error. It's, when we talk about they know this area, it's because they've literally been around for 100 years, and there's generation after generation after generation of people farming and ranching this area that have been using Roswell Seed that report back and tell them and talked about everything that goes on. So you're literally getting generation after generation, 100 years of experience that's been passed along about the dirt in this part of the country. I guarantee, short of maybe some scientists at New Mexico State or something, they probably don't know the soil. No one's going to know the soil any better than like Roswell Seed, just because how can you combat with 100+ years of generations of people tilling the soil and then reporting back and talking and saying, hey, Jim, that didn't work.
But Google has all the answers. Remember that.
Well, sure. If you want a general answer, that'll give you a general answer. But if you're like, I want to know why my grass in my yard's not working, Google ain't going to help you.
No. And that's what people don't understand is like Google is not area specific.
Yeah. It's very broad, very vague, and it may work. They may, what I'm saying, you may get lucky.
Yeah.
But if you want to science it, pull the Matt Damon and science the feces out of this or whatever he says in the Mars movie, then go talk to Roswell Seed and say, all right, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's great. I love it. So we are coming into to fescue. If you want to plant fescue or rye.
Now, is there certain parts of town that do better with fescue than others? Just general rule of thumb, or is that pretty universal?
It's just going to be depending, again, on your soil.
Gotcha.
Do you have a really fast runoff? Do you have a gradual runoff? Or do you just not have any runoff whatsoever?
Like I was, without getting general, but getting general here, like if you live on the south end, does Bermuda generally do better on the south end, or fescue, or there is really not a rhyme or reason?
There's not, on the grass, there's really not a rhyme or reason.
Okay.
It just depends on just your water runoff. I mean, if you water the ground and it stays puddled up for an hour, you got a lot of clay. It's not going to really do all that well.
Okay.
If you water the ground and you turn around and 5 minutes later, it's just discolored, but there's no water whatsoever.
Gotcha.
You're not really going to do
Now, in terms of maintenance and stuff, like generally, as far as grasses go, Bermuda's usually the hardiest and least. Like if you're kind of a set it, forget it type person, Bermuda's gonna be more supportive for you than probably other things.
More or less.
How does fescue work? Is it a finicky grass, or is it a grass that
no,
you
not
kinda
really.
set
I
and
mean,
forget?
you can't be as light with it as you can like Bermuda.
Okay.
Because it does require water and it does not move.
Okay.
But it's still pretty hardy for this area.
Okay.
Like right now, it's a cool season grass. So for the most part, it grows really well in it here. It's just June, July, and August.
Okay.
When, you really got to put water on it.
And it's probably green different times. Like Bermuda, it's usually yellow till it gets hot, and then it turns green.
Yeah.
Is fescue the opposite?
Fescue's the opposite. Fescue stays green all year long.
Okay.
And fescue will grow in shade where Bermuda won't.
Okay.
So we have a lot of people that...
If you got a lot of trees and stuff, Bermuda's probably not your best bet.
No, it's not going to work for you.
Okay.
But generally, people they'll come in and they'll say, well, yeah, I got this grass, it's growing great, but it's around my trees, and you have Bermuda. No, I have fescue. It's like, no, you have Bermuda. Does it turn brown in the winter? Yeah, you got Bermuda. Well, we were told it was fescue.
Your grass is down by the beach.
Yeah, that's it. And it's and the people that want fescue lawns that have Bermuda in, good luck.
And the thing is, Bermuda's will crowd out other grass. That's why it's great if you got like crabgrass and stuff, because Bermuda will win that fight.
Yeah.
But it'll also win the fight against your other nicer, more
and then the
fragile
people,
grasses.
Yeah, the people that have the flower beds with the Bermuda, they fight that Bermuda all the time in their flower beds. Got it. We have sprays that'll help you with that, but it's still going to be a constant fight.
Sure.
There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to grow and move.
Price you pay for a hardy grass.
We bought
going to be hardy.
Red hot fire poker plants from South Country in Carlsbad.
Mm-hmm.
They're in planters. And I have Bermuda grass growing
and they
inside
Bermuda jumped up into the pot. Huh?
Yeah.
I was like, how the
Right? That's but when you're trying to grow it,
it doesn't work out.
Yeah, when you want it to go in that area.
You're trying, it's like,
and it's funny
still dirt,
because
huh?
we have like a dirt patch that's about 3 foot wide from where the plants are, because for whatever reason the grass just doesn't want to grow there.
Sure.
So across the 3 foot section to get into my damn planters. Oops, sorry.
Yeah. Language.
So
there's children listening.
No, I doubt it.
So let me ask this with crops and things. Like what's like if you planted your spring stuff now and you've probably done some harvesting, what do you do to kind of prep it during the fall there? Is it just plant fall crops there, or is it
generally
fertilizing and stuff to kind of keep the soil enriched for the next season?
Generally, most of the farmers around here they'll do what they call a cover crop.
Okay.
And they're just using something to cover over for the following season.
Sure.
So like right now, we're getting into wheat. You'll be planting wheat.
Okay.
Oats are kind of hit and miss here. Sometimes they do real well, sometimes they just don't. But generally, most everybody just kind of plants wheat.
Okay.
And then they graze their cattle out on it during the wintertime and stuff like that. No big deal.
A lot more tortillas and oatmeal around here.
Yeah, definitely. But then then when springtime comes, then they start going back in. But if you plan on doing like let's say planting alfalfa, you're getting real close to planting alfalfa. They're harvesting alfalfa right now if they make seed. They're seeding, but they're going to be turning around. They're going to be replanting that field here real soon.
What about for like your gardener, your backyard gardener type? Like if they do their spring plants, and then is a good idea just to protect the soil? Say, you know what, grab a couple of your fall plants and throw them in there, and that'll make your spring plants.
Yeah, they can throw fall plants. Most of all your leafy stuff, celery,
your lettuces and
stuff like that. Yeah,
that kind of
that
stuff
goes in the ground now.
Okay.
And just kind of let it go, and
then in the spring your tomatoes and your pumpkins, things like that.
Else.
That's when you want to put those in.
Yeah.
See, you don't plant your pumpkins in the fall. That's when you harvest them and do pumpkin things with them. You plant them in the spring.
I planted my pumpkin in May.
Oh, wow.
It's 187 days.
Wow.
From planting to plucking.
How big is it?
Harvesting.
Is this your fair pumpkin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't want to share sizes yet?
No.
It's white as.
Is it designed to be a white pumpkin?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a moon pumpkin.
I saw some in the store the other day. I was walking. I was like, "Oh, look! I've never." And here's how rube I am. I'm like, I don't recall ever seeing one. I was like, "Do they eat these? Do they taste any different?" You know, it was kind of weird.
I don't know. Do they eat those?
I had a lot of questions about white pumpkins when I saw
they're
them.
just decorative.
They're ornamental, but they're
just
more for
gourds.
like
Oh, okay.
horses, them to graze on, deer.
So animals will find them tasty, but humans not so much.
Ironically, remember the story of I planted all the seeds and then realized I planted the wrong seeds, so went back and replanted the seeds. Well, the seeds I originally meant to plant, I now have a pumpkin on that vine.
We'll call it fortuitous.
I was like, I'm taking 2 pumpkins.
Yeah. She came in the house the other day and was all like, I got another pumpkin. I was like,
What if it outgrows the other one, and then you use that as maybe the...
I said I was taking both.
Ooh. Do you have to... Can you enter them both, or do you have to do like a pen name, like an author who doesn't want to, it's like, this is the Crystal Nobles pumpkin, and this is Sally Shimmy Shong's pumpkin.
That's Jim Garrels. That's Crystal Nobles.
Yeah. We'll just add Dad's name to it on one of them.
Right.
It's like, here, this is the Gill pumpkin.
Right. Just his ringer. Who's this?
Yeah.
Fing Fang Foom.
Yeah.
They haven't paid their dues.
Yeah.
Peter Parker put a pumpkin in here? What's going on?
But the cooler weather is definitely more beneficial to all of your spring plants. You can plant them too soon, but during the hot summer, you don't really get a lot of fruit and stuff off of them.
And that goes through different parts of town as well.
Sure, I would imagine.
I got people that live right now. They live on the, I guess it would be considered the northeast side. And I've had some tomatoes and I've had some peppers and stuff. And people that live on the southwest side, they're like, I got nothing.
Yeah.
It's growing, but nothing's coming out. And it's like,
Well, I've noticed too, like the chili season, you don't see as many roasters out and stuff as you usually do.
What's sad
this heat's
is-
kind of affected it.
Like Walmart sold the chili, but they didn't roast it. And then Farmers North was the only farmers that did chili. Farmers on Hobbs and Farmers on East 2nd didn't.
I've noticed. I was like, wow. And I'm thinking a lot of the green are turning red already, aren't they? So it's
pretty close, yeah. I've been tasked to build a chili roaster.
But it's kind of slim pickings for green this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's, and it's kind of deceiving because you get the box, you see the boxes, Hatch green chili, Hatch green chili. It's not Hatch. It might actually be Hatch seed, who knows? But it's not Hatch green chili. We know the people at Hatch green chili. And it's, they weren't picking then. They weren't harvesting yet.
Right.
And it's kind of like, okay, so, you got to kind of watch out. And we bought some chili. Yeah, Hatch-like chili.
Yeah.
And we bought some green chili from the fruit stand going up there in Hondo. And, God, it looked gorgeous. Smelled great. No taste.
Roasted it.
Yeah.
Smelled amazing. Nothing.
A bummer.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, okay,
Well, good news is even bad green chili is better than no green chili.
It depends on who. Yeah.
It's like pizza, It's bad pizza, it's still pizza.
Yeah.
Unless they put fish or something like that
If
weird
it
on the
doesn't
pizza.
have a good taste and a good flavor, it's not worth eating. It's sacrilegious to eat bad tasting green chili.
Oh, yeah, and you can tell by our builds, we always eat good green stuff.
Just chop it into other things.
Yeah. Throw it in something that's,
mince it in there.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of green chili.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, you do. I don't.
Man.
No, I can only handle so much. After a while, my colon's just like, stop. It's like.
And you're like me. You weren't born into it.
Right.
You've been in it a long time, but it's not native.
Yeah. No.
And so if someone who's not native, you're about as tolerant as someone can be that's not native to this area.
Yeah.
It's same with me. I love green chili, but at some point I'm like, we don't have to eat it with everything and every meal.
Exactly.
And my wife's like Crystal here.
Yeah.
It's like, and she'll even go to say Mexican. Like, if I just didn't say anything about food in our house, I think I'd be eating Mexican food every day, all day, every meal. I'm like, no, let's have something not in a tortilla today, please.
Put it on bread for you, then fine. Make it a sandwich.
Everything makes into a sandwich. I've done all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's my goal.
However, as much as he complains about green chili, the first place he wants to go, let's go eat at a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, this is it. I like it, but I'm just like,
but I don't eat there every day. That's what he's saying. We don't,
Yeah. Sometimes we want other things.
Okay, we are from this planet. We're not like, she put green chili on ice cream one time. I left the house. I walked out. I was all like, no. I did the stutter no.
I know there's a thing on sective people that like that. I'm not one of them either.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's I get the sweet heat thing, but
it's good.
But hot and cold.
Yeah, no.
Not
no.
Spicy and cold do not mix.
No.
Not my thing. But
yeah.
I get that people like it. There's a lot of things that are my thing that aren't other people's things. So I respect.
Yeah, I just
you do you, but don't make me eat.
Yeah, I couldn't stand to see that happening. I was like, I gotta go.
Only time I get mad now is when I see people put ketchup on steak, and I'm like, just give me the steak.
Yeah.
You don't need. You're not. Go stick to hamburgers. If you're going to do that, then you don't get a steak.
Oh yeah, that was when I was growing up. That was like the biggest thing. My dad would cook these amazing steaks, and he would broil them. Mm-hmm. He wasn't a barbecuer, and he would and they would come out. I mean, they were perfect.
Yeah.
And like one brother would show up all the time, and he'd grab that bottle of ketchup and just smear it on, and you could just see the look of disgust on my dad's face.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny as a kid. I was like, that's stupid. Dad's mad.
The only time you put that stuff on is when the guy burns the steak.
Yeah.
That's when you do it.
If it comes out Cajun, okay, add some sauce to it.
Then you're like, all right, put those some A1 or Heinz 57 or ketchup. God forbid.
Yeah. And then now, like if I cook and somebody comes over and you got ketchup? No. Why? Because we're American.
Right. Because I ain't serving French fries.
Yeah. Last time I checked, that didn't fall in the potato category.
Yeah. But that's the only time I get mad. After that, past that, do what you want with your food. I don't care.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Look like
if the weather permits, we will be seeing what the bees have done to see if we have any honey to harvest this weekend.
Yeah, I'm pulling everything. It's into season, so we pull everything off. Bees didn't do too. It was just really, really hot. They didn't really have that much food. I did harvest a little bit of honey.
I had some.
Not
It was
very
delicious.
much. Oh yeah. Oh, the chipotle honey. Yeah.
Oh, that's on point. I'm still got it. I'm
still
like I'm treating it like, just a little bit. It's kind of like the Sex Panther from Hankerman, where they keep the whole vault locked up and they just pull it out.
Yeah,
that's how I'm doing with it right now.
So we're gonna try. I gotta start getting them prepped for winter and stuff like that, and we'll see.
What happens in the winter with bees? They die off? Do they hibernate? What
No,
do
they just kind of keep to themselves.
Okay.
Days that they can go out and forage and try to find food. It's fine. We feed ours, so they don't really have to go that far.
I don't know if it hit a certain temp and they just like...
They ball up. They try to keep the queen alive as much as possible. So when it's really cold, that beehive is pretty much, they're condensed in a huge ball, and they're trying to keep her warm, and they'll rotate bees in to the center core and then out, type of a deal. It's kind of fascinating.
Interesting.
But also bees have a very short lifespan, so there's a continuous new cycle of bees every X amount of days. And so what we leave them is for them to survive on the winter time, plus what we feed them.
Gotcha.
Because if we take everything, then they have nothing to survive.
Makes sense.
Because we trick them into thinking that they have more room, so they make more honey. Well, being that our honey didn't really do that well this year, I gave them more room to make more bees. Well, more bees will make faster, more honey, type of a.
So you're trying to set the table for next year, being a little better.
more or
crop,
less, yeah.
basically.
And I
Makes
still
sense.
have a couple of I have one hive left that they were doing okay, but not as bad as the other ones. So I just kind of let them just continue with the honey going on and stuff like that. That's one that we got to check, and then start putting out all the feeders and getting them fed and happy. A hive is 98%.
Happy bees make honey. That's what happens.
Yeah, hives are 98% women, so it's from a man's standpoint. I didn't say it.
I can't control when you get smacked, man.
Yeah.
I try to help you out, but I can't control that.
So yeah. People always ask me, make the bees work harder. Well, you make 38,000 women work faster. You let me know. Just to go right on ahead. I am with you on it. You can't do it either, so I don't know.
I'm not attempting to either.
How would you do it?
I wouldn't try.
Okay, there you go. I don't want.
But I did make
just because you said that now, I don't want to hear no more complaining.
No, shut up.
Didn't try. Well,
whatever. I did make an attempt with the flowers and the buckets, but it was too hot.
Yeah, that one over.
Maybe this
real
week
well.
they'll want to do some stuff. No, it's a little cooler.
They're going to be out and about, and flowers haven't gone into dormancy yet. They're kind of bouncing back.
There's
They're
some
getting
pollinating to do.
Yeah,
and
We have
all
a
that.
neon pink rose.
That's pretty
this
cool.
rose tree, bush, whatever, blooms a different color rose every time it blooms.
That's kind of weird.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
And the other day, I was at the window at the kitchen. I was like, "The hell is that?" And then I was like, "We got a neon pink rose, neon pink."
Interesting.
Yeah, one of them came out. It was a really different color, orange.
Interesting.
But the one before, the time before it was yellow.
And then a
now
white one.
And
But they're quite pretty when they're in full bloom and everything.
And then this one it came out orange and
just the one.
just
huh?
one.
One
Yeah.
rose on this bush, one bloom, same spot, every time.
Feels like it's a message.
I don't know.
Like I feel like someone's sending a message. When it's one rose, one different color.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like the start of some Nicholas Sparks book or something.
I got
Work
some
harder,
rando coming in my yard and dyeing my roses before I noticed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
That would be diabolical if that's what's going on.
I'd be like,
That's great.
Wow. That's kind of neat, though. I kind of like those kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, it's
I'm sure there's some scientific explanation. We just don't know what it is. And
chromosome with this or ground with
in the
that or
meantime,
whatever. Yeah.
I'll call the
Yeah.
message in a bottle.
Yeah.
Thing.
And that, that's what I tell people is that's the fun of gardening. I mean, trial and error. You see what works, see what doesn't work. You get this, you get that. I mean, we have people that come in that, I planted my tomatoes right next to my peppers and now I got, hot tomatoes. And it's like, I don't think that's possible. But I'm not going to tell them no.
Right, yeah.
It's just, yeah, cool, bring me one.
Yeah.
I want to try it. Or if not, I have somebody they'll eat it
Sure.
and tell me, okay, yeah, this is kind of hot. But I mean,
I tried to crossbreed green chilies and jalapenos to make hot tomatoes.
Yeah?
It just made sweeter peppers.
Which that may not be bad either.
No, I wanted hot peppers.
Yeah, but sometimes a sweet one mixed in with the hot makes a little, like a medley of fajitas or something. Be very good.
See, I'm sweet and hot.
Oh.
Got a little have Donnie Amory, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. You
yes.
got a bit on there.
Oh, that's probably before your time.
I'll push you down some stairs.
We're taking the elevator down.
Equally as dangerous.
Yeah. It's broken.
But here's what I do know. If you are like scratching your head because you can't get grass to grow, or you can't get that plant to grow, or why is the trees, all the foliage at the bottom of the tree and not at the top of the tree, or hey, I think I want to try this gardening thing. I got a little spot of dirt out here in my backyard.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I want to try something with it. Go talk to Roswell Seed. And obviously, depending on the time of year, is what they'll tell you to plant and things. So, like we said earlier, if you want to start your little garden, if you like your leafy stuff, spinach, cabbage, lettuce, those kinds of things.
Yeah, the kale.
Tis the season.
Yeah, and if you come in and just ask for our seed catalog, on the back of the seed catalog, I refer to it as the Bible, but it tells you month by month what to plant.
Good deal.
And then on the other page, it tells you per 100-foot rows how much you're going to need, spacing, depth.
So it's really like a cheat sheet. For
more
all
or less,
stuff.
yeah. You know, because we know
It's gardening for dummies that's simplified.
I love it
because we had to make it that way because we're us. You know, I mean, literally, people come. What do you think of this? It's like I don't really know.
Or Hold My Beer Nation.
Yeah, let's look at the book. You know, let's look at the book. You know, type of a deal. And we can't remember everything. Dad can, but we can't.
But that's trial and error.
Trial and error. Yeah.
And if that works, awesome. If it didn't work, then we tweak it.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. And that's gardening. That's
And you get these people that are like, well, I think we're gonna have a really mild winter. I'm gonna plant this, and it's like, okay, go for it.
Yeah.
You know, and it sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Yeah. You know, and you just
sometimes
look
you
at
come
them.
out as a genius, other times not so much.
Yeah, you know, it's just kind of like, how did it work for you?
Sure.
You know, it's blah blah blah. But I'm gonna try, you know, again. It's like, all right, cool. Well, let us know.
Even if you are one of those people and you get frustrated, and don't worry, it happens to the most expert of growers out there.
Oh, definitely.
It's just learning, and that's part of it. But that's the fun part, is make it your own.
Yeah.
You know, have trial and error. If you're wanting to try to, make hot tomatoes, go for it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Heck yeah.
You know, if you're like, I want to make orange grapes, all right, go see what you can do there. Have fun with that. But you know, how do you think they get things like a
Tangelo?
Well,
and you know,
like Thomas Beard, he's a grape eater, but they got these cotton candy
grapes, yes.
And
they have them at Sam's.
He talks like they're the best invention since sliced bread. He loves them.
I thought they were good.
Crystal not a big fan.
Yeah, she's not a big fan of cotton candy, though. I am.
Okay, that could be the problem.
They take the cotton candy crystals that you use in the cotton candy machine, they liquefy them, and they pump them into the grape.
So it's not part of the growing process.
No.
It's like roids.
Yes.
Yeah, well, God bless them anyways. They're delicious. They are.
Well, can they put peanut butter in it? Then we'll have like a peanut butter jelly grape.
Oh, I don't know. That'd be cool. Hey, there you go.
No.
Get on the bandwagon on that one.
No.
You were just saying the other day you wanted to try something new, figure out something new. There you go. Make a peanut butter.
What was a haircut?
What the? Oh. What was a
Always
haircut?
back to the haircut.
Always back to the haircut. Yeah.
Very good.
So, yeah, it's time for fescue. End of October is time for pre-merge. Come in and talk to us. We'll let you know. We'll line you out, you know, and
let their experts help you get in the right direction.
Yeah.
And get you going. And if you're looking to, like you said, if you're trying to get the grass, this is fescue season. So if you want to put grass in now, and don't forget, the fescues is stuff. If you're wondering why you have no grass under your trees and all that, it's because it's probably Bermuda.
Yep.
The fescue is the one that grows in the shade. So if you have a lot of shade in your yard, that's probably a better grass to pick than Bermuda.
And rye. Oh, yeah. It's
And
time.
rye.
Yeah, you can plant rye as well.
Good deal.
Everybody always asks about rye. Well, what's the difference between rye and fescue? And it's hard to explain. I mean, rye has a different color. But I always tell people, you watch professional baseball? Yeah, those are rye fields.
Okay.
That color grass, that's rye. You know, well,
Does
how
it
do I-
generally work more effort to get it that way than others?
It's a pretty hardy and tough grass,
Yeah.
but it grows very, very dense.
Okay.
When it does come in correctly. Don't ask me how to make those little cool squares and lines in the grass like they do in the professional ball field. I have
they pay the
no
big bucks.
clue.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why they get paid. Yeah, they get paid a lot of money.
Meticulous hours of doing that kind of stuff and raking.
Their whole job is to mow that lawn. Where
So
most people, we don't have that, luxury.
And then you got to turn around and make it good the next night.
Yeah.
For another 4 hours.
Yeah, and they go out there and tamp it and put stuff in, and they actually have seed plots. And if there's a big section of it or small sections of it that get ripped up, they cut it, and then they go out and they cut it, and they put that seed plot in there right there, like a patch of hair. There you go. And they water it, and you wouldn't tell the difference. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Because the chances of that player hitting that same spot again, very little.
Sure.
Well,
it's kind of like for folks at Arizona, like Cardinals, they play in that retractable dome, but they have natural grass.
That's a cool. I got to see that.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
And it's literally a big sheet that slides in and slides out of the stadium. That if they need to water or more sun or whatever, they can literally slide it out and slide it back into the stadium.
Yeah.
And but it's one of the few.
It's the only
indoor that has natural
grass. Yeah,
pretty
cool. I got to go down and see that. I got to see the process of it. It's a huge ordeal. I mean, it's not like like it would be for us here. Just hook it onto the truck and just drag it out. No, I mean it's. They have 3 vehicles that pull that thing out because it's got to come out.
They're moving a football field every time they do this.
And then it just goes out and they just drop it down on the ground. They have sprinkler systems for it. And what's really funny is it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and then you'll see some guy on it with a lawnmower, and you're just kind of like, well, that's kind of ironic.
Big field in the parking lot.
Yeah, it's like cool.
Yeah.
And then they have shade cloths that go over top of it so the sun doesn't burn it up too bad and stuff. I mean, there's people out there that can do amazing things.
Yeah.
They're literally, and it's right back to trial and error. So
they just keep trying till you get it right.
Yeah, we're not that amazing. We're just semi-amazing.
Yeah.
So
you just see a few of the accidents.
Yeah,
before, you see the successes here.
More or less, yeah.
Good deal. Well, thank you guys. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all next time. And come on by if you have any questions about anything here, Roswell Seed, or if you're just lost in the woods and trying to figure out how to get your yard looking like something that people aren't offended by. Come by Roswell Seed.
New people. We got new people coming into town. Or if you just bought a rent house, come talk to us.
Absolutely.
That's the biggest one.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. There's hope.
Yeah, we try to make it go from the cheapest to the most expensive. We're just like you guys. We don't make a lot of money, so we try the cheaper things first.
Sure. Work smarter, not harder.
There you go. Exactly.
That's what we do. And if we can complete the same task and it's half the price, then that's what we're going to do.
Exactly, yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see you guys next time.
All righty. Thank you.
Good luck in your doghouse that you've created for yourself today.
Yeah, luckily I don't need air conditioning, though. It's getting cooler.
It is getting cooler. Might need an umbrella, though. It is 9:58. Quick break before we go.
Your destination for health is closer than you think. You don't have to drive hours for personalized care. You can get high-quality health care right here, close to home, at Artesia General Hospital. From hip, knee, and shoulder replacements to sports injuries, general surgery, pain management, and wound care, our providers will help you get back to doing the things you love right here in Southeast New Mexico. Artesia General Hospital is here for you when you need us. To learn more about some of our key service lines, visit artesiageneral.com/closer.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
Hey, Freddie Sosa here, Richland Chevy.
And Scott with the Dodge Boys.
For 5 days only, the Richland Chevy lot on West 2nd will be loaded down with cars, trucks, and SUVs from both dealerships. So who's it going to be?
Ram,
Silverado,
Chrysler,
Buick. You decide. Plus, low interest rates and rebates on select vehicles. Remember, Chevy versus Dodge, September 7th through the 12th at Richland Chevy on West 2nd. We're going to smoke the Dodge Boys.
You Chevy cats don't stand a chance.
Meow.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5